What's up? I am back. A little bit late, 3 minutes late. Oh, I just turned 4, so okay, I'll take 4. What's up, you guys? Good to see you. Glad to be back on another lovely Sunday evening. And I hope you are all doing well. Who is here? I saw some comments coming in fast and furious. Mike Asbel, of course, said hello before the show. What's good? What's good? I hope you're sticking around, or I don't know if that early appearance means that you couldn't stick around, Mike. And of course, Tom, the first or second one in. Good to see you guys. Brian, of course, couldn't stay with us. Catch you on Rewind indeed. Thanks, Brian. Kara Zoral looking so hot. Yes, sir, Tom. Yes, sir. Let's see. Who else is here? Oh, look at that. Vivian's in the house. Vivian's in the hizzy. Thank you for dropping in and supporting as always, honey. And saying hello to people. Jerome, good evening. And go blue, baby. We won another one. 4-1 on the season. 4-1 on the season. Yes, sir. 3 in a row ever since we got clobbered by Oklahoma. Let's keep it going. JT's back. What's up? Good to see you, JT. Become a regular. I like that. My old pal, Jason Ladwig. What's good, pal? Good to see you. Look at that. Your biggest fan, Vivian, in the house. Awesome. What's good, Rick Stir? Always a pleasure to see you, of course. Feed me. I'm feeding you. John Brown, as always, a pleasure to see you too, sir. Yes, sir. Hellos back and forth, of course. Ahoy to the Stingray who has a new video, which I will give you the link to soon enough. Sam Maroney, what's good, Sam? Good to see you. Hello. Hellos back and forth. Oh, look at that. Hope all is well with you, Yevgeny. I'll be in and out of the chat since we are on the road tonight. Sweet. Appreciate that, man. Let's see. Of course, hellos back and forth between all of you again. Some more. Evening. Dwayne's a pain, the Oklahoma kid himself in the house. Love it. Anyone watch Star Talk? New episode was nice. I haven't even heard of Star Talk. What's up? It's been a minute. What's good? B&G. What's happening, Steve? Wayne, B&G. Hello, CJ. What's happening, man? Yes, please. Hit those likes. Hit the likes. The thumbs up. Down here somewhere. Yeah, pointing right to it. The thumbs up icon. And what else we got? B&G. Hey, hello. You beat Marcus here. Everybody beat Marcus here. Marcus hasn't come in yet. Maybe he's sick. Is it possible he would miss a show? Wow. Yo from Carl Choi. Look at that. Carl Choi in the house in more ways than one. And let's see. Triple X. Yes, sir. Sticking around. Love it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, Mike. What's up to you, the Southern comic geek himself? Look at that, Jason. What's happening, man? And hey, Jason, just curious. Was that credit? That credit that I commented about, Aiken and Garvey, was that you screwing up? Or was it that maybe they actually credited it that way in the comic book? They could have just been kind of joking around. I'm curious. I'm curious about that. And what else? Who else is here? Hi, SGC Design. Hellos everywhere. Back and forth, left and right. North and south, east and west. Corey, what's good, Corey? Good to see you. And more hellos. Daniel Goodwin in the house. He's back. What's good, Dan? And hey, Corey, Marcus is out of panel. He must be out of panel. He must be. TJ, yo, Corey, SGC. Hello, Maki Poo Poo. What's good? What's new with you? Look at that. They credit it that way in the con. That's crazy, man. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. They're just having a good laugh. They used to do that a lot. Like yeah, from time to time back in the 80s, you know. So that's kind of fun, I guess. Marcus probably is at a panel. He might be. Look at that. Hello, Tamaki Poo, the Mockster from Vivian. Cesar Alvarez, what's good? The Southern Cali kid. Or are you kind of technically still kind of considered mid-Cali? What do you call the part of California that's like not quite Southern Cali and not quite Northern Cali, but let's say right in the middle? Is that Central California? Because I never hear anybody say the word Central California, you know? Or is it just like the dividing line is there? If you're right above it, you're Northern Cali, and if you're right below it, you're Southern Cali. How does that work? Look at that. More hellos from the Choister. Hey, Maki Poo Poo, a.k.a. Michael. I love how you need to tell. I love how you need to remind Michael that his real name is Michael. Love that. Hey, Maki, look at that. Wow, I've caught up. Speaking of the football, how many Grey Cups have been won by non-Canadian teams? I couldn't tell you how many have been won by Canadian teams. I don't watch that stuff. What's good, TJ? Carl. Yeah, man. So good to see you guys. Happy to be here. As I say, as always, I'm glad to see all of you here as well. Good to have a nice little crowd here. I know there's never as many as there usually could be in other episodes when we do hangouts. A lot of the, well, not a lot, I don't know, a lot, not that many of the regulars who watch live tend to bow out on hangout episodes, but some certainly do. Because, of course, there's always going to be that certain number of art collectors who really, their only interest is in listening to people talk about art and watching people talk about art, right? Certainly on the Rewind, well, that's obviously where most of the, views come from. On Rewind, there's a much larger percentage of the Rewind viewers who tend to bow out, I guess, because they realize, we don't usually say much about comic art per se on hangout episodes. Not that it's not even that I want to. I'd love to talk about comic art related stuff. It's just on hangout episodes, you guys know, usually it just doesn't seem to happen. Nobody brings up anything. But then again, like I said in the past, not many things happen on a week-to-week basis in our hobby. It's a small hobby, relatively speaking, right? So there's not always something really new and interesting to talk about. And so that's it. So we talk about other things, And as you guys saw on the thumbnail for tonight's episode, we've got a tariffs update. Sydney Sweeney as Power Girl? What? Some comic talk. Let you know what I've been reading. For those of you interested. Maybe we'll touch upon any film and television, although there's not much for me to say. But if you guys have anything you want to bring up, by all means, let me know what you've been catching. And I did a local art deal, which I know you're probably wondering, a lot of you are probably wondering, what's the big deal? It's not that it's a big deal. It's just that for me here in this city, even though it's a large metropolitan city with 2 million people plus, very few people collect original art here. And so there's not really an original art presence in the city. And so it was shocking that I did a local original art deal with somebody I didn't know. So whatever. I'll talk about that. So a few different topics. We'll get all into it. Let me do my promos first, but before we do that, I see you guys are obviously still saying hello to each other. And thank you, CJ. Yeah, come on, guys. 32. I got 32 watching on my end. So it's, obviously, going up, going down, fluctuating a bit. That's normal. But if it's only 17, that means 15 of you watching haven't at least clicked the thumbs up here somewhere. Please just click the thumbs up. It's encouragement. It encourages me to keep going every week. As tough as it is to keep coming up with new shows, It's harder and harder to get people to come on as guests. So I'll need any little bit of encouragement that I can get. So please do that. It does not make me any money. So please don't think that it's making me money. For those of you who feel like, hey, I don't want to make this guy any money. It doesn't make me money. It costs me money to do this. And I'm not joking about that. So does Ruben goon for Sydney Sweeney? What does that mean? Do I goon? I've never heard that expression, Corey. Ruben got a new Grummet piece. I did not. I'm not sure where you got that from, Jason. Did you see the announced pair-ups for Marvel's Batman, Deadpool, and the Soup Spider-Man? I did not. No. What about them? Any news, Ruben, on the Dredd story? Not as of yet, and I had somebody else asking me about the art as well, Corey. So don't worry, I still got you in mind because somebody asked me about it pretty recently. And indeed, what's up, Mickey? Indeed. Yeah, indeed. And that's kind of what I wanted to kind of talk about. I want to talk a little bit about that. Well, I'll start with the tariff topic because it's just a quick little update that you guys pretty much, most of you already know, but I want to make it clear to as many people as possible. And then I'll probably do the Sydney thing. Ruben is a Cal Ripken of YouTube original art. Indeed, so far, keeping the streak alive, CJ. But I, as a Yankee fan, I'm more of a Lou Gehrig. I prefer to go with Lou Gehrig. I'm still pissed that Cal Ripken beat his record. Let's see. Look at that. I knew it was impossible that Marcus would miss a show. The worst that he does is he comes in 15 minutes late. That's the worst. It's coming, man. It's coming. I could have already told everybody. You would have missed it because you came 15 minutes late. Let's see. What else we got? Short for gooning. I don't know what that means. Gooning. If you mean, am I hot for her? I mean, she's I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but I think she has the figure to make a superhero movie make money for a change. I don't care what anybody says, you give her the $5 million to do Red Sonja. That movie would have gotten a wide release instead of just almost straight to video. And they would have made some money, a lot of money. Let me see. Self gratification. You're an animal, Corey. That's all I'll say. You're an animal. Let's see. Stingray. He's an animal, like I said. Didn't work in Madam Web, but Madam Web it wasn't her movie. I'm talking about a solo movie, not a movie where there's multiple heroes, right? And she just happens to be one of them, right? I'm talking about as a solo. Yeah, solo, where she's the only, right? The only character to keep your attention. That's what I'm talking about. But I will also say, guys, that to be completely fair, and I've been saying this for the longest time, you don't even need her per se. You need somebody who looks like that. And I've often said for superhero movies, you guys have heard me say this, in fact, I prefer when they hire nobodies. Hire somebody who's a complete stranger that nobody's ever seen. Because like with Red Sonja, some of you may have known her from, a few of you may have known her from something or whatever, but I think we can all agree she's still a nobody. The masses do not know whoever that was. And on top of it, she did not fill out the costume the way Red Sonja is known for, right? And so I think they got too caught up in the politically correct woke movement thing, and figured, yeah, it doesn't have to look like in the comics, whatever. Yeah. Unfortunately for that character, it absolutely does. Yeah. Definitely, yes. And look at that, Vivian's still here. Wow. So let me see. I'll get to that. Look at that, TJ. A lot of hellos. Oh, she always looks half asleep. Wow, TJ going wild. She was a super nun. Super nun? Madam Webb didn't let her show her assets. Well, like that. I mean, it's not. So that's the secondary thing, you know. So that's the thing, you know. Your attention is spread out with different characters, you know. And again, if it's, you know, it's got to be a character who wears, you know, a Black Widow type costume. You know what I'm saying? A Red Sonja costume, that kind of thing. And yeah, CJ, for sure, exactly. And that way you get the Sweeney effect, but without having to pay her the $5 or $7.5 million. You know, because let's be honest, for a character like that, yes, exactly, Tom. For a character like that, I don't care what anybody says with the whole, you know, trying to be politically correct and all that. The people that are fans of the character, that's the first thing that got their attention. That's what made them fans of the character in the first place. So you need that, period. Yeah, it's cool that she's a tough warrior woman. I like a badass female character. I love that. That's why I love femme fatales, you know, in the hard-boiled crime movies of the 40s and 50s and 60s, you know. The ones that are badasses that don't get kidnapped and instead turn the tables on the bad guys, you know? Yeah, because that has a sexiness to itself when a woman has character. Confidence, right? The female has confidence. So yeah, fan of No Name or child star returning actors to play superhero or comic character roles. There you go. There you go. Where can I watch it? It's on video on demand, Carl. On video on demand. Stingray. That's bad. Goon Thug. That's the goon I know, Lyle. What's up, Lyle? What's good with you? Good to see you. No one fills out the thorn. Yeah, listen, you can come close enough. Believe me. Yeah. And don't forget, the Hollywood costumes are all tailored to the actor. So yeah, plenty of no-name people. I don't even, for a movie like Red Sonja, she didn't even need the actress you hired doesn't even need to be a good actress. Honestly, you'd make money just from people showing, you know, seeing the preview and seeing seeing the costume authentic and filled out. That would be enough for the fans to go. She wasn't the main character in the movie, and the movie was the worst written of any superhero. There you go. Sonja was just bad. Don't do it, Carl. Agree. Let new acting talent have a chance instead of recycling the same A-list actors. Exactly. There we go, JC. Hey, it's been a minute, JC. What's happening, dude? Holy shit. What's happening? Good to see you, man. I think Superman was worse. Oh my gosh. Wow. It'll be just a distraction. Nah. That's the distraction, the distraction most people want. They don't even need a story for that character. And yes, indeed, this channel is becoming clickbait. What's up, Stanley? Not politically correct that the person can't act. Also, to be fair, it's really hard to make a good movie. For sure, it is. It's always good to make good stories in general in any a medium, you know. Corey, people can't handle it when someone says Superman was crap. I'm waiting for it to go on sale. And at first glance, I think they just needed a woman with a bigger build. They needed one as close as possible looking to the actual comic book character. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, pretty much. Like, again, you know what I'm talking about, CJ. I don't have to keep explaining it. Evans didn't fill out the Lifeball cab costume. Nice one. All right, everybody. Let me quickly do my promos. So we get this show on the road, and let me see what we got for you tonight. So first, Newell himself, Stingray, has a new unboxing video. I only noticed it today, so I haven't had time to watch it yet. So nobody mentioned what he unboxed. Please don't ruin the surprise for me. All right. It's here it goes. I'm giving you all the direct link to check that out. So you're another animal, CJ. Okay, I take your word for it, Newell. I'll take your word for it. Don't say what it is, anybody, please. And I'm assuming it's art. What's up, Mike? What's up? Look at that. Derek Neiman's back. After tonight's stream, Ruben will pull up Heritage and put a bid on Batman. Is that tonight? You heard wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's not ending tonight, right? I don't think it is. That's okay. You can hire the casting people. Just have to once you got her, then the casting people do actually just make sure they hire like 5'5", 5'7" type people. And you know how it is with the camera, where the level at which you hold a camera, it makes people look shorter or taller or whatever. So it's okay as long as they cast everybody in proportion. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And what else? Hi, Mike. Hi, Derek. Hey, what's up? Mark Fong in the house. What's up? What's good in Singapore? And Cyclops is Tom Cruise. Huh? What's in the box? Not anything tonight. You can always drive up the pre-bids. Yeah, I'm good, Derek. Thank you. But you can go ahead and do it if you'd like. That'd be fine, I don't currently have space on my credit card to make that purchase, like they did with J-Law. What they built around J-Law? In what? And what are you talking about, Marcus? But I would say yes. I would say you build around her. Yeah, sure. But like I said, Marcus, even my preference, my number one preference she would be my second choice. My number one preference is still a no name. For a movie like that, it would be a no name based on this. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And that way you get the height you want. If you want the height to be, 5'10" or whatever. Yeah, man. A no name. And this way it's cheap, but still looks fantastic, because that's what most people will be looking for, Evening to you, Mike. Evening to you. Jennifer Lawrence leads the team. I thought we were talking about Madam Web. I didn't see that, by the way. Yeah. So, my gosh, CJ, thank you. Thank you for telling me how disappointing it is that even the viewers that are bothering to watch live, still 9 of them still haven't bothered to click and don't want to click. They refuse to click the thumbs up down here somewhere. But thank you. Appreciate that. Please, everybody, if you don't mind, please, it's not much to ask for. Don't subscribe if you're not subscribed. I don't care about that, but just hit the like. Hit the like button. It's not a big deal. Just encouragement. Why do you not want to mention the name? The name of what? What do you mean? The name of what? What are you talking about? You came in late, so maybe you missed me mentioning the name. Batman 423 cover going to blow past 1 million? Probably. I would think so. The last I saw was the 500,000. I don't keep checking until it's the day of, so I don't know where it's at, nor do I care. Doesn't seem like it matters really, No, I didn't. I don't remember that. I think I seem to recall you mentioning that I should. I think you suggested that perhaps, Yeah. And by the way, I just have to say about Keith, I always loved that his name was actually Keith and not Keith, right? Because it's like, British people, they can't pronounce Keith, right? The TH, they can't make the TH sound like in Keith. So they pronounce it like an F, right? So every time, like my whole life, you hear people, like British people, talk about, I grew up as a Rolling Stones fan from, ever since I was a kid. And so it's like, yeah, Mick and Keith, right? Mick and Keith. It's because they can't pronounce the TH. And Keith from really is the Keith, except he's not British. It's awesome. Will Mitch eulogize him? I sincerely doubt that, but it would be nice, making amends. It would be nice. Hey, what's good, Lee? Good to see you. The no-name actress. It's a callback to the last week when you wanted to know the name of the owner of that. Oh, yeah. Right. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. You got to put context on it because last week was last week. I'm not thinking about last week, So yeah, that's funny. And yes, indeed. We're aware, Caesar. Kind of like Canadians and the OU Dipathon. Jesus, can't say K for bad teeth. Right on. Okay, so the next promo, I believe there's nobody else except for, let's see, we got Nikki B. And I just checked right before the show, Nick, if you're ever watching this, and I noticed that producer Kyle only got to uploading all the shows right up until Thursday and didn't quite get to the Friday show, so yours is still not in there. But I'm popping in the main channel, everybody, the URL to the main home of the EXP. And so please, as always, remember to stop by this Friday and see what Nikki B has for sale. Claim show for those of you who don't know. And you get to stake your claim on Nikki B's art, affordable art a lot of the times, and occasionally some higher end art as well. Different stuff every week to be had. So please tune in 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific this Friday and every Friday. Buy Nick's art. There you go. All right. Now I do have one more kind of a promo. I got one more thing to promo. I wonder if somebody's in the house who I wonder if they're ready, if they might be ready to come in and chat. Because I was planning on bringing somebody in to talk about something. But they may not be listening at the moment. So perhaps it's good that I just kind of move on to my first topic here. And I think I will do that, which is the tariff update. And starter pages. You can definitely get starter pages at Nikki B's. Yes, sir. Indeed. And this Friday, that's true. The show must go on. So the show, I think, will go on. But Nick says he probably won't be there. But then again, he might. You know how he is. He might. I don't know. He might get somebody to replace him. And I'll tell you in a moment. Stanley. It'll tie into the tariff thing. Get a few more people tuning in, watching live. Thank you guys for tuning in live. I appreciate that. Those of you who've just tuned in over the last couple of minutes. And if you don't mind my asking, please just hit the thumbs up somewhere down here where I'm pointing. Thumbs up icon, the like button. I would really greatly appreciate that. It does not give me any money, I promise you. It's just encouragement. I promise. To keep this going every week. Give me incentive to keep this going. I would appreciate that because we got 38 of you now. 38, so over 3 dozen. That's a good crowd for a hangout. 38 of you, and I don't know, CJ, how many likes, but we're probably still at 20 something. So I would appreciate it if all of you could just reach out and click that button. No subscribing, don't need to do that. That's fine. Ruben, such a tease. Bridge to Tariff Bithia. Yeah, good movie. Love it. It's all about the tariff situation. Surely no one dies. Yeah, 38-26. That blows, man. That blows. That's still 12 of you watching and who can't be bothered. Like you're too focused on thinking that the like button is only there for you to click if you watch and you genuinely think you liked what you saw or heard. It's about encouraging channels that that do content that you typically enjoy watching. That's what it is. It's encouragement. It's not really about clicking it only if you liked it or not, But okay, so let me get into that first topic, everybody. First topic on tonight's docket: tariffs. Okay, so you guys know I did that one episode. I don't know how long ago it's been now, but probably, I don't know, probably 4 to 8 weeks ago, somewhere in there, about what was happening. Giving you all I knew about tariffs, which wasn't a lot because nothing was really certain at the time, right? But Daniel, it's all good, man. It's all good. And good. It's a good weekend. It was a good weekend for Detroit for sure, Stanley. Good weekend. But yeah, so a little quick update about the tariffs, everybody. And this goes out. So this goes out in particular for American buyers buying from outside their country. Okay, so if you're American original art collector, and honestly, I can even tell you comic book collectors as well. But we are an art channel, so let's stay focused with the art, at least for this topic. And I can tell you guys that if you are buying from Canada or any other country, okay, there will be no tariffs. As of yet, right now, there are no tariffs on importing original artwork. Okay? So you can feel free. You don't have to be worried. Like if if you've been wondering about what's going on with tariffs, and if you've been thinking about buying something, let's say from any dealer anywhere in the world outside the United States, whether it's, well, I was gonna say Inky, but Inky's gone, right? Inky's gone. Is there anybody left in Canada other than myself? Any Canadian-based dealers? I forget. But anyways, in any other country, it doesn't matter. Anybody outside the United States, if you are thinking about, or if you have been thinking, but you've been worried that the art may arrive and that they may ask you, hey, you owe us all this money in tariffs, I can tell you for certain, 100% certain, there are no tariffs, okay, on original artwork. Here's the thing you got to remember, though. If you are going to buy from outside the United States of America, okay, if you're going to buy original art from outside your borders, okay, don't assume that the seller knows what they're doing. Okay, I'm telling you this just because, just out of from life experience. Don't ever assume that any random seller knows what they're doing. If it was kind of like a regular seller, somebody who's been known to sell for years, they should know what they're doing. But again, still, don't just assume. And especially if you're just buying from a collector outside the United States, definitely don't assume that they know what they're doing. So what do I mean by that, guys? I'm just saying, don't be afraid to buy from them, but before you make payment, check with them. Tell them, you heard it here first. You can give my name if you want. I don't care. Tell them, I know there are no tariffs for me if I buy artwork from you. But I also know that the only way to make sure I get nobody asking me for tariffs is that when you send it, when you fill out the order as the sender, you have to put the correct HS code, right? The harmonized tax system code. Every product has a code number. And shippers have to put now that code number into, when they're filling out their orders, right? Onto the label. And so that code has to be there. So they have to make sure they have the right code. And depending on where they're shipping from, what country they're shipping from, the code it'll be similar, but it won't be the same in every country. All right. So that's why I'm not going to bother to give the code. I got my code I got to put on my packages that are going to the United States, but that doesn't mean that somebody shipping from a European country puts the same number. All right. But you guys as buyers, just make sure you tell them, ask them nicely, politely. I just want to make sure, can you just confirm, that you have to put an HS code. Okay. And that's it. And as long as they put that on the package, on the waybill, label, whatever you want to call that, then when it gets to the border and it gets scanned at the border, that's how U.S. Customs will know at that moment. Okay, it'll pop up on their computer that it's a duty-free, product, so there are no tariffs on it. All right, and that's it. So good news for us so far. And I say so far only because with the current thing, administration, the way things are going, you just never know if they suddenly say you get even more greedy and be like, oh, every product that until now has had no tariff, tariff-free, duty-free, those now have tariffs, nothing's duty-free anymore. Like, you never know. That could happen, right? But as of right now, original art can be shipped into the United States, duty-free, tariff-free, all right? Just make sure, again, as I say, make sure that anybody you buy from outside the United States knows that they have to enter the HS, H as in Harry, S as in Sam, okay, HS code. All right, and that's it. And then no fears buying from outside the United States. It's all going to be good. I can tell you, I've proven it. I've shipped several packages since this whole thing happened, and they've all arrived without a problem. I've shipped from here, and I've instructed Mike Perkins, who also has quite a bit. I have the majority, but he still has quite a bit of his art. And so he has also shipped orders from the United Kingdom, and I've helped him out. I've told him what number to use for the HS code shipping from the United Kingdom. And the buyers in the United States have received their packages, no problem. Everything's been great. Yeah, so that's it. As long as the senders do the right thing with the HS codes, there will be no problem. So please buy from outside. If you see things you like from outside the United States, do not hesitate to buy them and make deals. Okay. The only thing for me, the problem is, Stanley, is yes, the problem right now, the real problem is that Canada Post workers went on strike again. They did that last November. It lasted 32 days. It only ended because the government forced the union back to work 2 weeks before Christmas, or not even 2 weeks before Christmas, 10 days or something before Christmas. My guess is they're so far apart in negotiations and getting further, actually. My guess is the same thing will happen. My guess is they'll let things slide until we get really close to Christmas, and then the government will force them back to work again. So yeah, I'm gonna try to tough it out, wait it out. For some people, buying like more pricier art, if they're willing to pay the price for couriers like FedEx, UPS, I'm willing. But I can't believe it. I got some quotes from them the other day because I hadn't used them in years, and wow, so expensive. Like, it used to cost me for FedEx. I used to pay about 100 and 4 or 5 years ago, about $125 to ship something airmail to Europe. Okay, from Canada to Europe. And now there's different services, right? Service levels. And the minimum is like 175, 185, something like that. It's ridiculous. So yeah, so that's why I really want to avoid them as much as I can. But again, if the buyer wants to pay for it, sure, I'll go through the trouble. It's a pain in the ass, though. I'd still rather not do it because it's still, there's a lot more hoops to jump through to have to use them when you're a shipper that ships internationally, which, think about it, as a Canadian, pretty much all of every single sale that I make is an international shipment crossing an international border. Because 98, 99% of my stuff goes back to the United States, right? It's a big pain in the ass to use the couriers. A lot more of a pain in the ass to use couriers for me as an international shipper than the post office. So I'm going to try to wait it out. And I guess I'll suffer with no sales or few sales, or people who buy. I tell them, like, listen, I'll cancel the sale if you want, or if you want, I can. I'd rather wait and see what happens with the strike. But if you want to pay an exorbitant amount of money, we can also look into FedEx, UPS, DHL, whatever, But anyway, so that's the situation with Canadian shippers right now. But at least no tariffs, baby. No tariffs for now. So that's it. 40 of you watching now. I love it. Thank you guys. For those of you tuning in late, I appreciate that. You missed, some of you may have missed my first topic tonight, which was the tariffs. Tariffs on international buying, purchasing from the United States. If you're an American collector and you're buying art, you want to buy art from outside the United States. That's what we just spoke about. But we're done with that topic. So anything you missed that you want to hear about, catch it on rewind, or just rewind now while we're live. It's up to you. And but I'll be, after the show, I'll break up the show into chapters, and you'll have the tariffs chapter on its own, so you can check it out later if you want. Okay, so let's see, what are you guys talking about? I can pay in duty. Mike Perkins, duty call. You guys are talking to yourselves. No duty on Tutti Frutti Rudy. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Let's see. Get the straight poop for moving. Yes, sir. Wow, Compson, what's up? Compson in the house early instead of at the end. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, Compson. So now Compson knows, obviously, unless, oh no, that was only 2 minutes. He only came in 2 minutes ago, so he doesn't know. He probably doesn't know too much about the tariffs. No tariffs on purchases outside the United States. If you want to buy from outside the United States, American collectors, you can, and not worry about getting tariffs applied to your packages. Good to see you, Compson. Duty, pain in the ass. Oh, you jokers. International original art needs Han Solo type smugglers. American shipping is also a horror. Is it really, Sam? Wow. Come on, help you. Seriously, God, it's up to 40 and I still didn't get out of the 20s on the lights? Man. Help a brother out. Help a Canadian brother out. I missed it. Can you cover tariffs again? Yes, on rewind. FedEx, LAX is the way to go. Oh, FedEx lax. Nice. Nice, Rick. Gotta keep it separated. Anyone else here, Ruben, claim customers are a pain in the arse? I love how you focus in on that, He wants Sydney Sweeney interview. Oh, yeah. I would be happy to. She's not returning the calls, or at least the agent isn't returning my calls, So it's tough. It's tough. They want money for everything. You want a quick little interview on a small little original art channel. They still expect thousands of dollars, for their time. So it's tough. So that's why I think they're not returning my call. The worst. Wow. People slacking. We get to see the mic tonight. You do. Every now and then. Only because I was like, well, I always feel when I check it out on rewind that it feels like it's a kind of echoey. I don't know. I figured if I had it closer to me, it might sound better to you guys, Chris Lutz in the house. What's up, buddy? Just curious if anyone else saw a prominent art deal list a Steranko page, not me, about a month ago for $500 because they thought it was drawn by Don Heck. No, I didn't hear about that. Why? But listen, it's not like somebody did something terrible to somebody else. Why don't you mention what dealer it was? It's kind of weird though. Like what dealer could it possibly have been? I can't imagine even one long-term dealer who would have vintage stuff like that wouldn't know the difference between Don Heck and Steranko. Let us know who it was. And if anybody actually bought it or not. Yeah. All right. So look at this. Look at this. Somebody's here. All right. Name and shame. Yes, sir. Name them. Exactly. Okay. All right. So let's see. Triple X. Is Triple X in the house? Is Triple X still in the house? Triple X. Triple X. Is Triple X in the house?
House.
There he is.
How's it going? What's up, Ron?
Hey, good, man. How are you? I finished my promos and all that, and I was like, okay, I guess that's a pretty good time. I guess I'll do one more kind of promo. I kept seeing you were like not there, and I'm like, is he? I didn't want to say your name, right, to keep it a surprise. And I'm like, is he there? You there?
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? I'm over here unsleeving Magic cards. I came back from a 4-day tournament. I'm exhausted, but I realized there's just some decks that I don't play that much anymore. So, I'm here unsleeving cards and getting organized, and just want to get the week, in order before it gets started. It's a big week for us, actually, really big week. And so, Ruben, I appreciate you always being super supportive and open to, spreading the love. So hopefully, we'll get dive in here and share something more unique for our friends here today.
Yeah.
NYCC.
I wanted to say everybody that of course the timing didn't work as smoothly as I'd hoped. He was away from the computer while I tried to get him on. But I wanted to bring in Carl right after I did my promos, because this is kind of promo related. Well, not kind of, it is promo related, but also kind of comic book reading related, which is something that, like I say, I like on my Hangouts. I like to talk about a bit if I've been reading something, and you guys know I've been trying to get back into reading comics a little bit more again. So that's it. So that's why I've got Carl here. That's why the man has shown up, and I'm going to let him take the stage and tell you all about it, and I'll stay here, and I've got some things to say too. But let him take it away first.
Yeah, it's not just me. I mean, if you want to throw up the deck, I always want to do something a little bit more.
You're ready?
Later. We'll talk later. But
okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I just because before I brought you in, these guys, Chris Lutz told us that Bashara, of all people, which is kind of really surprising, posted a Steranko page for sale, and he had it under Don Heck for $500.
Who bought it? That's a question mark. Well, I know Bashara has help, because sometimes
exactly. So he has Mark Howland who does posting for him. So it would have been a mistake on Mark's part, not technically Bashara. But I'm just curious, Chris, let us know if he wouldn't I know Bashara. He would not let the sale go through anyways. So I know that if anybody did order it, they would not have allowed it. And I would understand, to be honest, I would understand. I would not let something like that go through either. That's an honest, crazy ass mistake. And I wouldn't take that kind of a loss. Made me wonder how much he paid the person he got it from. Hope he went back and paid them what it's worth. Okay, so we don't know what really ultimately went down. Okay. But anyways, we're moving on from that, everybody. And look at that, Thompson. Thompson not only is in the house, but look at this. Super excited about Evermind.
Oh, thank you, man. Dude, really appreciate you guys supporting. I'm super excited about Evermind. I mean,
Carl, look at these guys. These guys never trust me. They never trust me when I say I'm going to do something. Check it out. Look at Marcus. Ruben will read Evermind. Not only will I read it, okay, Marcus, I've read it. Past tense. Booyah!
Yeah. And he's an issue ahead of everyone, literally everyone out there in the public. So yeah, he's read. And Ruben and I, when I sent it to him, he gave me the fair warning that he would be very honest, and I expected nothing less. I told him, dude, I would actually appreciate that more than anything, because I think for me, similar to him, and please let's applaud him for 3 years of weekly stream. I didn't know it's been going on for 3 years.
A little
But dude,
over
like,
it's like, probably closer to, let's say, June, just it's 3 years and 3 months, so 3.25 years. Yeah.
You know how crazy that is to me? Like, it might be, really big for everyone, but for me, it's like this. Because my wife said I am the most consistently inconsistent person in her life.
Yeah.
So for you to do like a weekly thing like this, it's crazy to me. It's like, it's very unachievable for me. So I really appreciate it and really
thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you, Chris. Thank you. Appreciate you're the one who tried to buy it and got the email the next morning saying that they were tipped off the mistake. There you go. Somebody jealous who didn't want you to get it. But I understand. In that case, I understand.
That's awesome.
But thanks, Carl. Yeah, because I got to, in all honesty, the reason I always hustled my whole life and decided to sort of do whatever it took to just be self-employed, it was because I always knew I can't be in the same place with the expectation from somebody who expects me to be at that place at the exact same hour and only leave at the exact same hour every day, 5 days a week. You know what I mean? And then do it again the next, after the weekend. I can never do that. I need the freedom. I need freedom to do things on my own, in my own way, at my own time. And that's why I always did whatever I had to do to just hustle and just be on my own. I need the freedom. So that's why it's actually very ironic that I've so far kept the streak going. Because yes, you could say, well, yeah, but it's not like it's every day. It's only once a week, And I know that that's fair enough to say that, but I got to tell you, given how difficult this, especially in 2025, how difficult it really has gotten for me to find more new people to want to come on and do things on the show, right? It's become much more difficult for me to stay motivated, to continue doing another episode and another episode. And these guys that are here regularly, they know, because, they know that in the last 9 months, like this whole calendar year, they know I've done more, I've had to resort to doing more hangout episodes like tonight's episode, just because I can't do as many comic art show and tell episodes because it's hard to get guests. Comic art, I'd love to do more comic art commission episodes with commission collectors. It's just getting harder and harder, and that's it. So that's why more hangouts have to happen, because I feel like these guys that have been so loyal to me, they don't seem to care. The loyalist guys that are here tonight, I'm telling you, when I say they would literally they don't even seem to care if I do 5 weeks in a row of a hangout, right? A hangout episode, 5 weeks in a row. And I did do 3 weeks in a row, like in the last 2 months. They would rather I still do that than just take a week off, right? Which blows my mind, right? Which blows my mind. They would rather just come and we shoot the shit. Like for them, that's fun enough. It's interesting enough to them to spend a couple of hours just talking about whatever, and I appreciate that. So that's kind of the motivation. The biggest motivation has been these guys, the regulars who come in live every week. That's the main motivation for me, never missing a single week in over 3 years. I do it for them more than anybody or anything else, because I appreciate that, But yeah, it's getting tough. And that's why I keep saying to people, hit the like, for Christ's sakes. It's not that much. It's like, just hit the thumbs up. Seeing more likes, it's encouraging. That's it. That's all it does. It's a little bit of encouragement, So yeah, it's tough to keep going every week. And like I said, I know it's only once a week, but believe me, for me, when I'm having trouble getting a guest, it's like, I'll do tonight's show. And I already have nothing planned for next week and the week after and the week after that. I'm going week to week now, right? And it's like, I'm already stressing because I've got no guest for next week, which means, unless I find one in the next, say, 2 or 3 days, it's probably going to be another hangout, which I personally don't care. I've said it many times on my show. If my whole show was just about hanging out and we talk about whatever, like if it had been that from the beginning and the whole channel was called Comic Art Hangout, you know, I wouldn't care because I love showing up and nothing is planned. I didn't have to do 15 hours worth of behind the scenes work, preparing slides and all that stuff. I would love to be able to do nothing but hangouts all the time. But as I was telling you backstage earlier, before we went live, I noticed that when I do a little too many hangout episodes, then, you know, some of the viewers stop watching and, you know, views go down. So that's it. I guess what I'm saying is I'm trying to do more. I try to do more of the other shows. It's just, it's getting so hard. And like Robert, I think was it Robert mentioned? Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, Robert, specifically, but yeah, I don't even have anybody helping, like, at all. So it's just me and only me. And so that makes it even tougher sometimes. It's like, oh God, what am I going to do now? Whatever, you know. Yeah, and of course, doing this show by myself every week for the last 3.25 years, it also has, it's the main reason, guys, when I tell you, you guys have heard me say for a long time, like, yeah, I barely read anything. That's the reason. That's one of the main reasons, is because this show takes up a lot of my time behind the scenes. And yeah, that's a lot of hours. Otherwise, if I didn't have this show, I'd be reading a lot more comics. I'd get back into, you know, seeing more, you know, television series and movies and stuff. You know, do all that fun stuff I used to do before I started the show. You know, so I can do my own version of updates. Like I said in the past, Tom. You know what I mean? It's I don't know what you mean by updates, honestly.
You kind of have that with your, like, art tracking, the 101. It's really cool. I mean, that's a cool show.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to copy. You know what I mean, Tom? Like, I don't want to copy another channel. There's no point. Our hobby's too small. As you guys know, there's a lot of crossover between my audience and Cath Plus audience, right? So it's not 100%, obviously, but there's still a lot of crossover. So it makes no sense for me to be copying another channel. Like, why do the same thing somebody else is doing? I'd rather just not do it at all, you know? So yeah, that makes no sense to me. Murdoch, I appreciate that. Says it's entertaining. I appreciate that for sure. Carl's going to get his word. He's going to get many words in right now, but I just wanted to clarify that only because Carl mentioned he was congratulating me. He had just found out I'd never taken a Sunday off in 3.25 years. That's why.
Real impressive.
So, thank you, Tom. Thank you, everybody. And again, all of you for being, especially you regulars who never miss a show. I appreciate that. But
I'm not just watching him talk, Marcus. I'm also sorting my magic cards. So don't
worry. Hosting is the hard part. We just show up and react. Exactly. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that, Robert. Exactly. Robert, you will have to come on if you. I'll reach out to you private. I don't know if you're interested.
Robert should come on. Robert has so much art, man. Like he is.
Yeah. And I know that Robert. I know that you did like a show and tell a while back on Cath Plus, and that's okay because it's been a while. And you've had other, you know, additions or whatever to the collection. So if you'd like to do one, let me know. I'll be happy to reach out, and you know, you could be the next contestant on The Price Is Comic Art Show and Tell. But I appreciate that in all seriousness. Calm down, Ruben. Yes. Ruben is the showrunner, producer, and key grip. And Best Boy. Don't forget Best Boy. His power is over 9,000. No. Just keep cycling through the top 10, 20 guests. I've been avoiding that. I have to admit, I have been at that point where I'm thinking, you know what, maybe it is time that I ask the past guests to come back and do things. But we'll see.
Doesn't hurt to revisit.
Yeah. All right, sounds good, Robert. I appreciate that, man. I'll reach out to you through your cap gallery. Okay, so oops, you still there, by the way? Because I can't see you. I just clicked something. Hold on.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Hey, look at that. Rich in the house. And he's like number 36. Thank you for the like. I appreciate that.
Hey, what's up, Rich?
Hey. All right. So, yes, please let Carl get into Evermind. Because a lot of you don't know what the hell we're talking about when Compton said, I am looking forward to Evermind. let's let Carl take it away, and then I'll give my 2 cents after he's all done with it all. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it short. You know, you guys know
The whole thing.
Yeah, I'm a publisher at 24/7 Comics, and you know, Ruben, I'll share. I'll just kick us off because I feel like.
Want me to kick it? Want me to put it on?
Right yeah, away? Listen, I mean, when I'm here, I don't want to, let's be like blindly promoting. I kind of
no. And look, and in case anybody has anything to say about it, you guys, let me just say, you guys know when I do promos, I try to stick to just the smaller channels that are primarily original art people doing original art content. Every now and then with a friend, I will do something that's non-original art content. But when something like that happens, I try to kind of integrate it with some original art. And so that's why, even though this is technically like a promo to help Carl out, we are going to be seeing some original art. So it's both some original art content and a promotional thing. Plus, it's comic book related, and it's something that I've read. So with all that being said, we're going to check out some stuff here, guys. Let me do this.
Yeah, we got some fun. So,
awesome.
Instead of just coming here and plugging Evermind and what we're doing, it feels like a lot of you guys already know what it is. But for those who doesn't, similar to Ruben and his love for this channel and what he does for you guys, I have a lot of love and faith for all the creators that I work with in the publishing space as the publisher of 24/7 Comics. And about 5 years ago, I got hit pretty hard with COVID. I think I shared it in the past story.
Oh yeah.
And I woke up and, when I recovered a couple months later, comic books was just on my mind. And I don't know why. I just felt like that was going to be a calling for me. But, it's not easy because, it's in a way, it's similar to Ruben, where it's a passion project. And this passion project has grown into, 10 plus projects with 10 creator teams and going into our 5th year. And next year, we're going to be going into comic book shops. But in order to do that, we do need support and a show of momentum, because no comic book shop is going to order from us if they don't feel like there's an audience. And so this will be the last Kickstarter that we launch this year before we solicit comic book shops. And so in a way, everyone who's involved will be partaking and helping us get into the shops. Number 2, man, like, I can't wait till you guys see this, but when Sean started showing me some of the new pages from issues 4, 5, and 6, I was, my jaw dropped, and I really believe this is his magnum opus. It's a really powerful piece. I'm glad Ruben was and thankful that he took the time to read the books, because I'm super curious, on his thoughts on it. And then
and Carl, let me just, I apologize for the interruption, but I just want to quickly remind everybody, this is, Carl can tell you how he defines it, but to me, this is what I would put under, it's definitely not a superhero thing. This is a science fiction comic. That's the genre I would label it as. Is that okay, Carl?
Yeah,
or do you?
It's sci-fi. It's
okay.
Full sci-fi, yeah.
Okay. And I don't know if you know, Carl. These guys all know. Typically, I hate the science fiction genre. Okay. I don't know if you're aware about that about me.
I'm not aware.
Yes, I'm not a fan of science fiction in general, but that's all I wanted to mention. And so that'll make it more interesting now that you know that. But yeah, let you continue.
I'm even more thankful that you got through it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody, so you know, last thing to remind you, I told Carl, he said, listen, you can, if you want to read it, would you want to read it? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll take a look. I said, but you need to understand one thing, because I'm not sure if you know, but like, one of the main things that I've always made it a point to do on my channel since the beginning is, like, you guys know me now, right? By now, you know me well. I speak my mind. and I'm all about honesty, right? I don't want to bullshit nobody. I don't like bullshitters. So I want to be honest about something. And when it comes to opinions on something I've seen, read, whatever, I just want to be honest, and not in a mean-spirited way if it's negative, right? But yeah, I'm not going to kowtow to someone because they're a friend if I don't really feel like my opinion is super, super positive. You're right. It's like I can't bullshit my friend and just say, oh, yeah, it was awesome. And then behind his back be like, oh, my God, what a disaster that was. And because there's an audience to this, hundreds and hundreds of people, including all the Rewind people, I don't want to, I'm not going to bullshit a bunch of people. So you guys will know once Carl finishes his whole spiel and talks about, and we see all the artwork and stuff. I told him I'm willing to read it as long as you know that when I tell you, I'm going to save my thoughts for when we go live. And when we do, I'm going to be honest. I'll tell you what I think about it. No matter what happens, I'm going to be 100% honest about what I thought about it. And credit to Carl. Carl said, yes. Yeah. Oh, I want you to be honest.
Of course.
Yeah. So he said, I want you to be honest, whatever. So yeah, I was like, okay, in front of an audience. So that's fantastic. He said, yes, that'll help me be a better editor, a better, producer. Yeah. So fantastic. So, okay. With that said, let's go back to Carl and let him take it away again.
Yeah.
Let me put the slides back up, right?
Yeah, let's throw the slides up. So, and the last bullet point, you could jump to the next slide. I even made a little cover slide here.
Hold on, because what the heck happened here?
Just gotta go and share. Let's see.
Oh, sorry. No. Yeah. No, it's the view.
Oh, yeah, it's gotta change the layout of the screen.
Yeah.
So you go to the next slide, Ruben.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And just to kind of TLDR it, shout out Southern Comic Geek and Noelton.
Hey, Rich.
There's literally like a quick TLDR of what's happening. But we are, like I mentioned, Sean Chan's Magnum Opus. It's happening this Tuesday, October 7th. Please mark your calendars to Thursday, November 6th. So this month, I'll be pretty much disappearing all in on this Evermind campaign. And so anyone who is interested or not, even if you're not interested, I'll share some ideas on how you could be helpful to us and this mission to bring these books to local comic book shops. And then there will be a ton of day one exclusives. So there's two versions. One is the ones that if you just back on day one, and then two, if you're already on our newsletter, or if you go to 247comics.com and sign up for our newsletter, there's going to be secret tiers. That's like additional discount for that. So we're like literally going all out. And then
Carl. So I don't know if you noticed, but Daniel's asking, what was it? 247 Comics? Is there an IG link? What would the IG name be?
Yes, it'll be at 247 Comics HQ. I can also give you the link, Ruben. Maybe easier.
Put it. If you can give me the link to that and also to the Kickstarter in the private chat, I'll post it into the chat for everybody.
All right, now here's the Kickstarter. So I mean, number one, if you're watching and you have a second, I would really appreciate if you guys can just do a quick follow on the campaign, because the algorithm gods actually require that you launch with at least 300 followers, and we just hit that right on time. And so we didn't have as much time to hit all the conventions like we did on the first one, but we are going to hit the convention this weekend. And that's the fourth point I wanted to share, that for those of you who are at New York Comic Con, Daniel Wu, who's the co-creator of Evermind, which, while we're going through what we're going to go through today, Ruben, I could share some stories as well as to how Daniel got involved, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but, absolutely. I just finished putting in the two links, so everybody's got that now. So check that out, please, everybody, especially the Kickstarter. You want me to go to the first slide here?
Well, we'll set up. I mean, the setup is I haven't shown anyone this yet. So all 49, 50 of you guys, this is another Ruben exclusive of the line art. And in fact, some of the variant artist covers, they were asking me why are you asking for my line art? Because I don't want recolor because a few of our artists actually wants to color their own books. And just so you know too, before we get into this, every artist involved in this campaign had also read the 4 books before they committed. And so in the campaign, you'll kind of also see what they have to say. And it's been a blessing because we have some really talented individuals. I don't want to spoil anything, contribute to this. And so, yeah, you guys will all be the first eyeballs to see this. And I thought timing was cool because this is Sunday and it's 2 days from launch. And so hopefully, we could just geek out a little bit about all the artists that are involved, as well as, the art itself.
Stingray wants to know, will you also go to Baltimore or only New York?
So I won't be at Baltimore, but Sean Chen will be.
Oh, Sean Chen will be there. Okay.
Yes, because I was away this weekend. And then I have to be away on the 4th weekend of October. I just didn't feel right leaving my wife for 4 weekends. So I want to make sure that we get there. Blind bag? No blind bags. I'll make one for you, Marcus. You're going to get a personal blind bag next time you see me.
And thank you, Mike Asbill. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
I know I'm a quitter at CG. You never know. I might bounce last minute. Who knows? I'll have to crash on one of your floors, though. So.
What's that sound? It's Carl's wife cracking the whip, says Stingray.
No, in fact, she wants me out of the house. I'm just trying to stay married.
All right, let's get in with this, man. Let's go. Let's go.
So I organized some slides that I thought would be cool for kind of visual engagement. And I think we're starting with, Sean's covers?
With Sean Chen covers.
All right, so I really believe this is Sean's magnum opus. And obviously, you guys know a few years back, we launched the Kickstarter for issues 1 through 3. And so for those of you who hasn't seen issues 1 through 3, and even for those who has, this is actually the premiere of the trade dress-free versions of the colored covers as well. So no one's ever seen issues 1 through 3 trade dress-free. And so because even the artist editions had trade dress on them. So here we go. We could jump into Evermind number 1. All righty.
So this is a wraparound cover?
It's a wraparound cover. Wow. In fact, in the beginning of 24/7 Comics, I've always been a huge fan of wraparound covers because growing up, I just liked.
Yeah, no, who doesn't? Come on.
Yeah, I just love that. Well, what's interesting is I realize artists love it and hate it. They love it when the concept of it and when it's finished, but they actually hate it when it's displayed on the store shelves because only half of their art is being displayed. And so this is something I learned just from the last 5 years of being an amateur publisher. And so, but I think this was amazing because Sean was able to encompass pretty much the whole world of what Evermind's about. And so in this number 1 cover, and there's so many details on it, showcasing the duality of the two worlds. And yeah, I do love the return cover, Jason. But yeah, that's why I love this cover as well. What were your thoughts, Ruben? Let's talk about it. Issue number 1 cover.
Wow, no, listen, like I've always said, Sean Chen, for me, it's funny. I remember Sean from back when, I wasn't some big Valiant guy, but I do, of course, I used to look at a lot of comics, even when I didn't read them. And so I do remember his name from, back in the days with Valiant. And was it Rye in the Future Force? Was that the one he was doing? I believe that was it, right?
Yeah, Rye in the Future Force.
Early on, right. And then I left comics for several years. And then when I came back like in 2000 or 2001, and I wanted to see what I had missed. And I one of the first things that I noticed was Sean's work on Iron Man. I was like, oh yeah, there's that Sean Chen guy doing Iron Man. So, and I loved it. And then I gotta say, and I've mentioned this in some past shows over the last 3 years, that when we were talking about all kinds of different artists, and I'll say it again, I feel like Sean disappeared from the industry for like at some point in the last, I don't know, 15 or 20 years. He stopped being like a monthly regular artist, like, right? And I always wondered why. And I was sad about it because I thought I was always a fan. And so when I saw you working with him, I was like, oh, of all people, that's so cool. Because I don't see his work enough for my taste. I always enjoyed his work. And it's like now Carl works with him. And he's like doing an ongoing book with him or whatever. It's like, to me, that was like the coolest thing. So I get to see, I don't know for how long, because I still even haven't asked you personally what the long-term plan with all of this is. But just seeing that he was doing something other than covers on a monthly book with interiors was very exciting. And so that obviously was a part of the, I got to say, certainly a part of the excitement for me, the fun when you asked if I would want to read it. Because I was like, okay, like I'm really not into science fiction, but I would read it just because it's been forever since I read like a Sean Chen drawn comic book, So for
I didn't tell you it was science fiction. I just said, read it, please. Would you be interested? And you were. So
yeah, but I have to admit though, Carl, the name to me and the logo, because I had seen it on your channel, right?
Sure.
The name right away, it just immediately gave me science fiction vibes. So it's not like, it's not like it was like a surprise, right? I was expecting it to be science fiction because of the name, right? So, but yeah, so no, very excited to see that, and it's there's nothing else to say. I love Sean Chen. I've always been a big fan of his, so very, very cool to see it,
Yeah, and this is the world of Evermind. So feel free to jump ahead to the color version. Unless anyone has any questions or has something to say. Well, what are your thoughts between the color and the black and white?
Well, I will say I'm as a guy who was always into comic books more for the art than the stories. And when I say art, I mean specifically the line art. I want to be able to see the line art. And as beautiful as colors can sometimes be, it still distracts me from being able to clearly see just the line art, right? So my preference is always going to be just to look at this, right?
So beautiful, so good.
But as far as colors go, I wanted to ask you, you should promo the colorist's name, because I think it's really well done. Yeah. As far as digital colors go, I really like, especially like if you look at the right side, I will say that I'm so happy that the pinks, I guess I'll call them pinks, did not turn into bright reds. Because that's what a lot of people would do. Oh yeah, super bright red, because red catches attention, obviously, right? I like that it was muted, and it's just muted and relaxed. Lucas's suit is it's not, it could have been super bright blue, but it's more like a grayish blue. You know what I mean? It's muted. I like that. The left side, more deeper, brighter colors, but really clean. And I don't know what the word for it is, but I like that the effects used here to color this cover. Like what I find about digital colors a lot is that I always feel, especially when there's a lot going on, especially like on this cover, right? It's a wraparound cover montage, right? So lots of stuff going on. I feel oftentimes digital colorists, they just love brightness. They love brightness, and I always feel colors are overly bright on modern comics, to where I feel like, whoa, like hand me my sunglasses, man, because but this is. It's not. They're deep, but not bright. Like I love it. Yeah, it's perfect for as far as digital colors go. This is I love it.
Yeah. So the colorist's name is Tom Chu. He goes by Soul Link, and he's retired. I mean, he hasn't been doing coloring for years, for decades. Yeah, what? And I think Sean reached out to him, and he's a good friend of Sean, so he's literally kind of been doing Sean a favor and us a favor by doing this. So he has a full-time job. He's doing something else in tech, and then he has been doing nights and weekends for us to make this book
Whoa,
happen.
whoa, let me, whoa.
It's like an exclusive colorist.
Let's let that sink in for a second to everybody, because you said that quickly. So to make this clear to everybody, Sean Chen, the artist, the comic book artist Sean Chen, he has an otherwise non-art related career going.
Oh no, we're talking about the colorist.
Oh, the colorist. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So he has a whole solid career, and he's really kind of Sean's colorist. And so
wow. Okay. And
cool.
That's why. So he has a full-time career.
He has a full-time career.
Wow. I got to tell. Okay, look, I'm even more impressed. Okay, again, not to sound too promoty, but legit. I gotta say, I'm even way more impressed about the colors now, because art, whether it's line art, penciling, inking, or coloring, it's like riding a bike. When you haven't done it for a long time, yeah, you don't forget. But I'm telling you, if you haven't ridden a bike in 25 years and you get on one again, it feels weird. It doesn't just come immediately back to you. It feels weird when you first put your both, feet on the pedals again. And art is even more difficult. When you haven't done it in a long time, you get rusty. You just do. And for a guy who's working a full-time gig and hasn't really been coloring in years, wow, that's even more impressive. That his skills are on point, dude. Wow. So yeah, props to him, man. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive.
Amazing.
Obviously, we have to plan a little bit better because he's doing it on the side, but he goes all out. He spends a lot of time talking to Sean about it. Sean gives feedback on the notes, and I see a few versions of it every time. So yeah, number one, we want to set a tone for the world. I think. Are there any questions that I missed, maybe? But just to kind of
let me grab a couple here. Marcus says, who came up with the idea first, Sean or Daniel? He's talking about Daniel Wu. Everybody, that's an actor. I want to talk a little bit about him. Carl, go ahead.
Sure. Daniel and I go back 20 plus years. He's a actor who was discovered by Jackie Chan and then managed by Jackie Chan. And he had built his career initially in Hong Kong and China, and eventually have 100 movies under his belt at this point, and became a superstar. And we stayed in touch, and worked together for a bit, and then he came to Hollywood. And no one really know publicly why he came to Hollywood, because things were going so crazy in China. People were scratching their heads like, why would you go to Hollywood? Because he's basically the Keanu Reeves in China, and was doing extremely well, and is still doing well today. But he could have been more ambitious about it and done a lot more, but he didn't. He came to America. So I'll get into that story later, the backstory. But on parallel, Sean and I met, during our time in the agency business. So, Ruben mentioned earlier, Sean disappeared for a while, and where he disappeared to was to be able to feed his family by working for marketing agencies, doing storyboards, doing commercial boards. And I had owned an agency at the time, and I needed an illustrator. And I was looking through a agency website that represents these illustrators, and I saw Sean Chen, and I was like, I want to meet Sean Chen. And so we met, and we connected, and we worked together for a few years in the agency world. We had do like major pitches to Marvel projects, major pitches to Amazon, Netflix, everything. He's worked with my team. He was basically part of my team. And then, what was cool about working with someone like Sean is I could geek out about Valiant because I'm a huge Valiant fan. And then two, we talk about comics and what comics is missing. And so that was kind of like the two relationships. But the idea, Marcus, to answer your question, is it came from a drawing that Sean drew about 20 years ago. And it was a mech gorilla and a mech female. And I guess about 20 years ago when he drew it, he had it in his portfolio. And this guy came over to him during this con and said, hey, what is this about? And Sean's like, I don't know, just something I drew. And the guy's like, okay, cool, thanks. And he left. And then the artist next to him was like, dude, do you know who that was? And Sean's like, no, I have no idea. He's like, that guy's like a big time producer. I forgot who it was. And he's like, why would you not just make something up? And Sean's like, oh man. And so I guess Sean had basically beat himself up over the next 20 years thinking about that moment. And so fast forward to about maybe 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, he posted on Instagram like randomly. And as soon as I saw it, like, I don't know what it was, I felt like there was like a story to it. So I called him and I was, hey, what is the story? And he's like, oh, what do you have in mind? And I was like, well, let's figure it out. And so we literally met every week. So I said, hey, can you take that off Instagram? Because I think we should work on this. And so he took it off Instagram and we worked on it every week. We met every week for like about a year. And a few months into it, Daniel Wu joined that weekly meeting. And in short, where Daniel's involvement was, he was kind of in a place in his career where, he wanted to take hold of his career and figure out what's gonna look like 10 years from now. And in a way, when you work on anything in the comic book space, it's a long future to anything, right? And so when he got involved, because he was actually very inspired by Sean's work. And why he was inspired on top of that was because when Sean asked me if I had a reference for this character, Liu Kazang, I sent him a picture of Daniel Wu. I said, maybe this guy, but 10 years older, without telling Daniel. But once he drew the first issue, I was like, oh, shit. He drew the first couple of pages. I was like, oh, shit, I better talk to Dan about this. And so when I talked to him about it, he was just like really curious. So he basically read the manuscripts and he was like, this is interesting. And we got on a call, and then Daniel started building his character around Daniel's story, which basically was, and I think Sean has shared this already, and Daniel's a private person, but at the time, Daniel had an aging father, and then his mother had just passed, and then he had a daughter, and so he decided to come back to America and be a family man instead of pursuing his ambitions in China. And so Sean's story in Evermind is basically a parallel to Daniel's life on what if he chose otherwise. And so I think, Ruben, because you read, it totally makes sense, right? Because you read the issues 1 through 4, and at the end of the day, redemption is in the air. But
I love one of the things that I really quite enjoyed was the whole subplot with Lucas, the main character, everybody there at the bottom right hand side, and his daughter, who's right next to him there in that image. I love that. I'm a father of a daughter as well, so that also makes it more relatable, right? And but even before I had my daughter, I was always interested in stories of parents and their children when they don't get along, and the things that keep them separated, and the things that bring them back together. That stuff is always very interesting to me. So yeah, that was like, it was cool to see that subplot was part of the whole story. So
I would say it's the main plot. I feel like it is a father and daughter story. I think it's
sure, fair enough.
So important. It's so
fair
important.
enough. I'm saying, well, yeah, I call it subplot just because there's so much going on.
It's a crazy world. It's crazy that this is also Sean's first time writing, and it was cool too because I always have to shout out our community, right? Like Kevin Van Hook, who's the creator of Bloodshot, and Ninjak. Very early on, Sean was gun shy in a way, and Sean brought Kevin on board to be a consulting editor. And then, fast forward, 3 years later, now we actually have executive editor Terry Kavanaugh on board. And so it's been great, like having, very experienced writers and editors, support Sean through it all. But I can safely say Sean is well off his training wheels. And I think 5 and 6 is going to really surprise a lot of people.
And so good, perfect time for me to ask, how many issues is it supposed to be to wrap up the story?
6 issues. Everything we do at 24/7, I made a decision that instead of making an ongoing series, the expectation is just 6 issue story.
6 at a time, yeah.
Correct. And then it's not, and for me, I don't know if it's going to be ever coming back and continuing. I actually, 1, ask for the creators to take the time they need, 2, to do their best work, and then 3, tell a story that's timeless, because I feel like at the end of the day, like when you think Batman, what's the first thing you think of? Dark Knight Returns. You read that story 100 times and it's still be good, right? Yeah. When I say Wolverine, what do you think of? Weapon X, right? Like you just need that story, and you don't need 100 issues for that. So I really that's not a bad idea, Marcus. That should have been a good theme, 24 or 7. And so Marcus got the ideas. Might have to create a advisory board. Chaired by Marcus Y with ideations. And so So anyway, the 6-issue arcs, and it kind of works out. But what's been really interesting is experiment, guys. You're gonna notice, on our deals with the artists, we just say minimum 22 pages. But per issue, you guys could draw as many pages as you want. So I believe issue 1, 2, 3, they're in their 20s, like high 20s and low 30s. And I think issue 4 through 6, I think it's like 32 pages and like maybe 30 pages for the second one, and like 40 pages for issue 6. So these are like huge issues. So I don't know. It might, Marcus, it might be 7 issues, but I feel like because I give the creators so much leeway to take lead on telling the best story they want to tell with the time they need, and they're investing their time into making sure the art is beautiful, the pages are there to really reflect a whole product and a whole storyline. So hope that answers.
I think that's the way to go. Why not? Think about it and listen. The whole industry, even with ongoing series, they're all predicated, most of the time based around a 6-issue story arc, anyways, right? Correct. So you might as well just stay with the norm as far as that goes, but thinking of it only as one self-contained story at a time, as opposed to the ongoing thing, right? And take it, you can't, as a small, independent, little tiny one-man shop that you are, it doesn't make sense to think about it too much in terms of, long term. Let's hope we can do this for 2 or 3 years. This one time, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I like the fact that you can tell the creators, put out your best work, right? I'm not going to put you on a kind of a schedule where you got a deadline. You better be handing me in those pencils by to tomorrow or next week. Whatever. Like. Put your best work out. Let's get the story completed and focus one story at a time and make it the best we can. I think that's a great outlook.
Yeah, and I'm not a one-man shop. I have to shout out all the folks on the team that contributes to this. And
I know there's other people, but I think you know what I meant by that. But you know what I meant. Yeah.
So we keep going. So issue 2. Let's get into it.
Sure. Let's take a look at the next one here.
So there is a kind of risque side of Evermind.
I love
because it's in the underworld, and we want to show kind of like a transition of that journey, right? Because we on issue 1 already kind of set the theme park as kind of like the setting, and then issue 2 is when you question where these. I guess let me give you some background. So when you go to like a theme park, often you see all these senior citizens volunteering, right? Because it's the happiest place on earth when you go to Disneyland. And so one of the question marks we had was, man, like if we had this technology called Evermind that could transport human consciousness into androids, what would you use it for? And one of the things we thought about was like eternal life, but where would you go with eternal life? And if I was a senior citizen, I would want to go volunteer in Disneyland. But what if I was given an opportunity to transfer my mind into Mickey Mouse and be Mickey Mouse truly and live for as long as that body can live? And so that's where this whole kind of theme park premise came from. But then the second thing was Sean was thinking, wait a minute, but then if you're alive 24/7, what would you do at night? Because you don't have to sleep anymore. And the way he thought about it was, I don't know how much you guys fly, but like when you fly in an airplane and you land, there's always a line of the next group about to board, right? And the whole thing and the reasoning behind that is because airplanes just have to keep running to stay operational, right? It's bad to shut them down, right? And so in a way, Sean thought, okay, then these androids will have to keep running as well. So during the daytime, they're servicing all the kids and the families. So then what do the adults do at night? Like, they need something to do too. And there was an inspiration from a documentary on Disney where they did try to launch a Pleasure Island in Florida. But and it was an island that's for adults, drinks and everything, which I think later worked better as California Adventure, right? On this side of the world. So we said, man, what if Pleasure Island or this underworld was below the surface of the amusement park, Bobo World? And so this is basically a scene of these mechas that are taking off their day suits, where the gorillas are taking off their gorilla suits to become these like battle bots, which are battle mechs that fight in the arena. Because, you know, after I was like, who wouldn't want to watch a great fight, right? Go get beers and join the arena. And then the princesses that are above, that services the Princess for a Day experience, they become pleasure bots for adults underground. So this is the elevator to where they're all going. Carl, my Carl brother from another mother. He is, but he is PG-13, so he would prefer Bobo World above, while I'm on the elevator on the way.
That's funny. But yeah, this is great. I actually like this cover even more than the first one. Yeah, for me, I guess because well, just in general, I always prefer one scene as opposed to montage of scenes. Right. You know, yeah, that's all. But
yeah, I think there's a lot going on in the first one, and the thesis behind that was there's a lot going on in the book, so we kind of want to just prepare people mentally.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We're about to go into this world, dude. Like,
yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's good. You know, it's all right. Like I said, it's just more of a. It's not. Nothing. No negative knock on the other cover. It's like I said. Just simply, I always prefer one image over many. That's all. You know.
Look at Carl. Oh, Carl had a side to him. So Pleasure Island.
Pleasure Island at Disney World back when I was working down there in my 20s, trying to get into that some not so PG-13 trouble. Nice.
I'm also curious, how many of you guys are watching on the TV versus on your phone versus on a monitor? Because I don't know, Ruben, have you looked at your statistics to see how many percentage of your audience watches on the TV? Because apparently on YouTube, more and more people are watching on TV now than on on their monitor, on their phone.
No, I haven't checked. I check the stats on my website, and there I'm happy to say that it's on the website, you know, because people have been telling me for years, like, oh, dude, man, you know, make sure that you gotta get a more modernized site. This was, you know, before I changed it 3 years ago. You gotta modernize it because, you know, it doesn't work good with a phone. Everybody's on their phone, and I'm like, I don't know. Oh, hey, Nikki. I was like, yeah, but I don't know. Most people, I think they still would prefer to look at art on a larger screen. And everybody was like, nah, phone. Everybody's much more on phone than on PC. And then I changed my website, and I had, you know, very, very modernized data that I get. And I'm happy to report that most of the time, my traffic comes from people, more often than not, on a daily basis. People on PCs outnumber the ones on the phones, not by a lot. It's usually like 60-40 or 55-45, you know, something like that. But yeah, so I'm sure that'll surprise a lot of you who think everybody's on the phone. But but that's just the website. So as far as my channel goes, no, I didn't even, honestly, Carl, I didn't even know you could check that.
Look at that. Nikki is on the TV.
Okay.
Tom's on TV or iPad. It looks like let's see. And this art is sometimes on TV, but he does desktop. Robert is iPad. Me too. I'm an iPad guy usually, but for times like this, I'm on my.
Thank you. I just wanted to say quickly, Marcus. Marcus was mentioning that some of the themes of the comic book, he says, are similar to either the Black Mirror TV show or something called Alien Earth, which I'm not familiar with. I don't know if you're familiar with either of those.
I'm familiar. Alien Earth is funny. We actually talked about that.
Yeah,
I'll look that up, but yeah, Sean called and I called each other, and we're so happy. We're not trying to be mean about it, but man, like they had such a good concept.
Yeah.
It just didn't finish strong. Like we were
really?
so hopeful that it would finish strong because
Alien Earth was a show or a movie?
The show that just ended, and it was really good up until episode 4, and then it just kind of really tapered off. I think they must have just like I know another showrunner told me they shot the whole thing in Thailand, and it was like really expensive, like $200 million, right? $240 million, and I think that I don't know what happened. Like it just really tapered off. Like it was really good starting off, but yeah, similar themes and the whole kind of transition in the bodies, but definitely went like a weird direction after. But happy to discussion as well.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we would dive into issue 3.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one, and that is.
Ruben, is there anything else you have to talk about? Because I don't want to take up all your time. I know we have a lot of slides.
I've got other things, but again, it's Hangouts episodes have kind of become more like anything goes.
Cool. So I want this to be an experience, that we're all sharing because I haven't shared this with anyone before, so to me, it's kind of like sharing art. So
I'm happy. I'm happy to do it. So as long as we just keep talking about it, and I hope people give it a try, because I will sneak ahead and I'll jump fast forward and just tell you really quickly that overall I did enjoy it, and maybe I can say more about it after, whatever. But for now, let's just keep it going, man.
Let's keep going. So issue 3, this the last cover. This basically after the first 2 covers, we realized, oh man, on bookshelves it's gonna be hard. We're gonna need a cover that can actually be transitioned onto like a trade paperback. And so when we realized that, we said, crap, we better do one that's not a wraparound. And so we also realized this is going to be a very adult themed book. And so Sean came up with this cover, and it's a cool closure to issue 3, because there is like a really clear 3-issue arc as well, and it really gives you this cliffhanger. And so this kind of in a way gives you a preview as to what's going to happen.
Doesn't give anything away. Like it's
okay. Good. Not giving away, but it's a little preview though. If you read it,
Yeah. No, it's very nice. Another nice one. Yeah, very nice. Again, pencils, inks, and colors. I'm so happy for you, man, because I'm not usually, like I said, I'm really honestly not usually enthused about digital coloring, but I'm so happy with this colorist. He does such a great job, and it's even more impressive to know that it's not even his, coloring comics is not his main gig. That's wild.
I think he's kind of moved on from it for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So I guess we could jump right into 4, which is the campaign that we're launching. Although all 6 issues will be available. Why I love this cover is it's a homage to Sean's most famous Wolverine 159 cover, and was also then used as the Return of Weapon X cover. So this is all fresh art that Sean created, and he spent a lot of time on this cover because he wanted this to be, the best version of a homage to himself. And I gotta admit, it's an upgrade. So the next slide actually has the original Wolverine cover, but I actually love this new cover.
Hey, look at that! Classic.
Hey, K-pop.
Wow, that's classic, man. Ruben has the old man demographic. Nice. Scott Hinton, welcome. I don't know you, Scott. First time here, I think. Wow. or at least first time that you posted a message. Happy to see you and welcome. Let me see what else we got. Look, everybody's telling us where they're watching from. See what you started, Carl. PC, TV for Scott.
So interesting. It's a cool survey.
Yeah, for sure. Look at that. Tony, what's up, Tony? Phone for tonight. Oh, yeah, DJ. What's up, DJ? Laptop for DJ. What's good, buddy? Holy shit. I'm on the phone taking a stroll. Are you? Are you walking while you're watching, Marcus? Don't lie to us now. John Brown says laptop also. Monitor for CJ. Wow. That's pretty cool. You can do a chat poll of how they watch. Well, this is the poll. We've already got more than enough without having to go to any trouble. Wow. Surrogates came out first 16 years ago. Bad movie. All right. Oh, Tony. Hey, the old gang's here. Wow. Evening to you, pal. What's up? Good to see you.
I don't think I met Tony. I'm excited about New York, though. New York's going to be great.
That looks like a better looking me. Who, the monkey? Oh, look at that, Nikki. Mark Fong might be interested in your Wagner page from Friday. Wow.
Nick said it's sold already, so unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, what am I talking about? That's true. It got okay. Oh, no, I don't. Wait a second. I don't remember it getting claimed, Nick. Was it at the end of the show or after the show? Oh, after the show. Okay. Yeah. That's why. Oh, good. Hey, Nikki, just let us know. Was it, did it end up being Josh Flanders or somebody else? And he's disappointed. Look at that. Hey, you moved too quickly. You moved too slowly, Mark. Oh, look at that. So let us know, Carl. I want to say welcome to K-Pop Junkie because I always see her on your channel. So I'd like you to tell us, maybe introduce who this is and let us know what her connection is to you or 247 Comments.
Yeah, K-pop, she's an amazing streamer herself. So she hosts a few shows, but she definitely spends a lot of time, really supporting like a segment of fandom. And so I've known her over the years. Right. And, we'll run into each other at different folks' streams as well.
Okay, so,
cool. Yeah, she's a great supporter, always been at all our streams and always down to promote what we're doing. And so, yeah, she's a great friend and supporter for sure.
Awesome. What up?
Give her a follow and check out her content.
Yeah, very cool. Marcus says walkie-talkie. Not sure what that's
about. Yeah. Stingray got to meet K-pop. We got to play Heroes Be Damned. Where is that?
Thanks, Nick.
It's there somewhere.
And it was Josh. Oh, I'm happy. Cool. Very cool. I'm the one who told him about it. Not that he probably mentioned it to you, but I'm the one who told him that you'd be having it. I reached out to him because I knew he wasn't a regular of your viewer of your show. So I reached out to him privately to tell him that you would be having that page on the Friday. So there you go.
So we make these game sets on
let me
Heroes Be Damned, and they're a lot of games because Nate's really into it, and K-pop got to play with Newell on the set. So this is the Heroes Be Damned set.
K-pop was playing this with Newell?
Yeah, it's on our channel, so you guys can see it. We got the full gameplay on it. So, for us, it's really like diversifying the products and creating products that make sense for the different stories. And so we made these card games, and so they're available on 247comics.com.
Okay, very cool. Marcus said she's a demon hunter. All right, I'll take your word for it.
She's the fourth demon hunter that is yet to be premiered, but she's coming soon.
Rick wants to know, did you request the Neon XXX on the back cover of issue 1?
Neon XXX? Is there a Neon XXX? I don't know.
Did you request
like that?
He wants you to put it on the back, I guess is what he's talking about.
Oh my gosh. It might be back there. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me see. Ruben, can you re-show the slides? I'm gonna go back to issue 1. Because
no worries, Nick. No worries. Just helping out. Just trying to help out collectors. Collectors, sellers. It's all a big happy family. Well, not always so happy, but it's like a big family. Hey, Nick. She says, "Bye, TJ, and grabbing dinner. Have a great night." Likewise, Nikki. Nice.
the camera's on me right now. Would you mind?
Yes, I'm going to come back to all of us here. Let me bring that back. There we go. And oh, look at that! When we come back, it rewinds. That sucks. Okay.
No, I rewinded it.
Oh, it was you? Oh, did you not want me to? Did you want to stay rewound?
That's fine. We keep that.
Oh,
what's weird is
okay.
I think this happened to you last week, but when you came back, my screen got huge and I can't see anything. 1 second. So we're on issue 4, right?
Yeah, and that's with the Wolverine remake, the Wolverine homage of his own cover, which is classic and very, very cool. Oops! Oh, I love that character though. Ooh, teasing, just teasing a little bit. So yeah, Carl, whenever you're ready to keep moving forward.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys, let's play a guessing game. What was this cover homage of?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it, but oh my gosh, hold on.
Any guess?
No, I know what it is, but it's not coming to me. If I had enough time, I'd get it. Under pressure, it's not coming. Hold on now.
Oh, I think
is that a Brian Bolland Wonder Woman or something like that?
Yeah, you could go to the next slide and there we go.
Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, cool.
I'm not sure why Sean homaged this, but yeah, when he drew it, I just really loved the energy of it. It's perfect.
Oh, look at that. Marcus got it. Oh, what's up, Chuck Arnold in the house? Look at that. Everybody's getting it. Derek, what's good, buddy? Oh, yeah. And Robert, everybody. Oh, but Robert Thief whiffed. You whiffed, Robert. You whiffed on the artist, but that's all right.
Nice.
You came close enough. Wonder Woman, John Brown. Yeah, everybody remembers it. Just goes to show how powerful Bolland, always was as an artist and how memorable,
Super memorable. And so,
classic.
Yeah, Sean brought back a classic. I love it.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Newell.
Bedtime here. Sell lots of comics. Have a good night. Good night, Newell. Bedtime. That's pretty early bedtime. Wow.
Really early. What's going on?
Yeah. What's up with you, man? Holy smokes.
Thanks, Corey.
Corey, okay. Corey, you're all right. Yeah, you're all right, Corey. You always leave around this time. Night, guys. This KS looks great. Kickstarter, of course. Good luck. Thank you. Thanks, Corey. Have a good one. Dwayne's a pain. You need to refresh your browser, I think. Dwayne's a pain because, you're everybody guessed it a few minutes ago. So sorry. Let's so keep track. This is was this 5? Issue 5?
Issue 5.
Issue 5. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Stingray got to get up at work at 6. I got you. Have a good sleep, man. Okay, there we go. Oh, and thanks, for popping. Hey, so Carl, you managed to figure out you were able to take control of the admin?
No, I can't. Actually, it only shows up on the stream that I was streaming on, and
but how come I'm seeing it? I'm seeing
it. You and I see it, but I just checked the YouTube. The link actually doesn't show on your YouTube.
Oh,
so if you don't mind relinking it, I want to show the guys before they bounce and maybe give it a follow or two. That's the same one from earlier.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. A clickable link. There you go. Check that out.
We're 306 followers. My birthday is March 6th. So there we go. Landed. Thank you, guys.
There you go.
You guys, give me a quick follow. All right. And then let's go through the last cover for Sean. And then we could go to the variant covers because I'm really excited about the roster there.
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason I wanted something ominous, and I said that to Sean, and he's like, "I got it." And this also introduces another character into the mix for issue 6. No one else has seen this original art. I remember he texted to me, and I was like, "Yo, this is great! What a great way to close it out."
That's wild, man. So nice. Let's check out the color version. Yeah, I love the colors too. Wow.
Yeah, Tom did a great job with the colors on this one.
Great. Yeah, I really, really love the colors. But again, then I'm like, wow, I go back and I'm like, oh, I love the fine lines that Sean did with this stuff. Like, man, those little bits in the background on the left and the right too. Everything. So nice, man.
Yeah, kind of remind me like a little bit of Weapon X thing going on there with that large mecha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All the wires tied in or whatever, plugged in and stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Yeah.
All
So
right.
six standard, everybody. So we'll take a look now at some variant covers for the series, which is a lot of
Yeah, I
fun.
didn't put any particular order. I just put them in alphabetical order based on their name.
No, that's fine. A lot of great artists, so it doesn't matter. What a great lineup you got here, Carl.
Yeah, really, really lineup. So we'll start with the first one is going to be at OAX. Can you guys guess who this is?
Alan Davis.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, look at that. Alan Davis. Wow, man. I'm telling you, wow. Yeah, that's wild. My gosh, yeah. It's like I said, it's a great lineup. A lot of like really good big name artists too. So, and a lot of good, even not necessarily what you would call a big name artist. You know, they're just good. That's what matters, right? So,
we want something for everyone. So Alan Davis will be also OAX. So he's very good friends of Terry Cavanaugh, our executive editor.
Oh, is he?
Yes, and so in fact, Terry put him on Excalibur, and so he was able to do Excalibur and do his work, and so very cool. And he's a character too. He's been on our show. We did like a series called what is it called? It was a Terry Cavanaugh show, and it was where they just have talk like they were talking at the bar, and Alan basically appeared on a live stream for the very first time. He's never done it before, and so it's kind of cool. I'm excited to see him in person when we get to OAX. Yeah, so that's the first one. There you see his line work, his colors.
Want to go to the next one?
Yep, let's go. The next one is, can you guys guess who the artist is or like what the inspiration is?
Man, that's a bit tiny for me. And it's obviously very modern day artist. I'm not that familiar personally, but again, my new comics reading is incredibly limited. But I would think somebody in the chat's gonna know. I would think Marcus maybe. Marcus says K-pop Demon Hunter. Nice.
Yeah, it was a K-pop Demon Hunter homage, and it's by Brienne Anden. So we can show the next slide, which is a colored version with Brienne, a Filipino artist. Great guy.
Oh, okay. I've not even heard of this gentleman. Wow.
Yeah, he's a younger artist. He's based in the Philippines, and I've just been tracking him. He had some really good stories that he actually pitched us, and we felt like this would be a good way just to introduce him to what we're doing. His styles kind of manga influence, does a lot of webtoon as well. So Wayshack, I want to do something with Wayshack, but we haven't figured out what yet.
Hey Carl, who colored this one?
He did.
He himself?
He did. He himself. Yeah.
Okay. I have to take a little umbrage on this one.
Sure.
I just feel like when I'm assuming, I don't know these characters, right? But if the character is the front one, if she has, if so much of her body is pink, like the stairs in the background, did they also absolutely have to be pink? I mean, it's blending into, the foreground blends into the background. It's just a lot of pink there, man. Wow.
I wonder if he colored it based on the background. Maybe I'm just guessing. Yeah. Being like a concert LED wall.
And that's why I'm asking, because I'm wondering if maybe that is what that's how it is, right? And
I guess, and she's so maybe, and it's reflecting off of her. That's kind of my guess. Yeah. But hopefully, maybe Brienne can answer that. At some point. All right, we go to the next one.
All right, cool.
Look at that! Homage, just to show
the homage that it's Hunters.
We had a live appearance from K-pop herself. So who wants to guess this one?
Chaikin. It looks like Chaikin. The woman looks like Chaikin. Is that Chaikin?
Yeah, it's Chaikin.
Is it? It's hard to tell when it's this tiny on my screen, No,
yeah.
Wow, is that Chaikin? Wow.
It is Chaikin.
Oh
and
my
can you guess what the homage is to?
Oh my gosh. Oh, is it an American flag cover?
Yeah.
It is, right? I couldn't tell you offhand what issue number though. It looks like I remember Flag sitting there in the middle, but I would not know. I don't know the series enough to know by issue number, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody is, let's
Series
see.
2, issue number 1.
It's the American Flag. Says Chuck. Flag says Tom. And series. Oh, series. Oh, interesting. It's the first issue of the second series. Interesting.
I have it. You want to skip to the next?
Oh, it's on the next one. Okay. Oh, yeah. You're always including the homage. All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Check out the color. Nice. Who did this one? I like this color again.
He did it. He did the colors.
Howard?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Terry actually sent it to it could have been the same colors as. I'm actually not sure. I gotta ask Terry, but
I think it's the guy. Sorry, who? Give me the name again of the gentleman who had done the colors for the Sean Chen covers.
Those are by Tom Chu.
Tom Chu. This has a feel of Tom Chu to me. No,
I don't think so. I think it's someone else. I think Terry figured out. I gotta ask Terry actually, so we could.
Oh yeah, there's a second signature, Marcus. I know, but I can't read it. It's way too tiny and pixelated or whatever.
Yeah, good catch, Marcus. I should know this, but I'm
but
brain fried after 4 days of Magic the Gathering. That's what happens. Lose all sense of what's going on. And
are we going to see the homage now?
Yeah, homage to the next cover. Yep, that's it.
There we go. Okay, wow, yeah. Very cool. Very, very fun. Awesome. All right. Who is next? Do you know offhand who's next? Let's guess. I guess we'll guess.
We could guess. Let's go. There we go.
Oh, wow.
I don't think you'll get this right, though. This
Is that DK Juan? No? Hold on. I can't. I don't know. Yeah.
He's been around for a little bit. He's not quite, I don't consider like a huge guy, but lots of momentum in the space. I just saw he was at LA Comic Con, but I missed him. Maybe he's getting Nitro then, yeah. I guess Chuck knows.
Yeah, no, I don't know. So you want us to go to the next one and let's see. Oh, I would not have guessed. Another name I'm not sure. I'm familiar with.
You wouldn't have guessed it. So he is also Filipino based, and I just like his stuff. Like he just brought a really cool take to it all, and we want something a little different than what everyone else is doing. So
I love the coloring effects because it gives it a very science fiction movie vibe almost.
Yeah.
You know, with those vertical lines going down from her face into the middle. You know, like. Yeah, it's almost like you're phasing in, you know, like the way Star Trek guys used to phase in and out of the spaceship, you know. Yeah,
I really like that. It was cool. It was cool for me.
Is that PJ doing the colors? Do you know? It might be somebody else.
He did the colors. He did do the colors. Yeah.
Wow. CAX artist PJ Katakutan.
CAX is what?
That's one of the. I think it's that company that they bought. That small little show for more indie artists. I think. I'm not sure. I think. Beam me up. Exactly, Rick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Colors. Very cool colors. Yeah. Very cool. And is this also are they all homages, Carl?
There's not homage.
Okay.
This is original. All right.
Oh, look at JC. JC says his fave cover so far.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people love this. Card Art Expo. Oh, he was at Card Art Expo? I didn't know that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
Oh, I missed him.
Look at that. Tom's laughing at you. He says, Carl's like, I just hire them. No idea after that.
I honestly often, I gotta admit, sometimes I'm like just, can't fall asleep thinking about stuff. So I'll scroll through Instagram and I'll be like, oh, this guy's dope. And I'll just message her, hey, you want to do variant cover? Like, that's literally like how it happens.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
And I think, when we're approaching this, we want to do 2 variants for each issue, and also offer up like a all variant kind of tier. And so that's why we dropped this as well. But we could keep going. We got 2 more to go. All right. Yes, this is a sketch for a good reason. Is because
I was gonna say this looks kind of like a very, very finished preliminary piece.
Correct. Yeah. Preliminary.
Is that because the artist will scan this in and go directly to color? Is that why?
I don't know.
On the computer? Is that?
Can you guess who it is? That's the question.
I can't at this size.
I'll give you a clue. I mean, it's huge. This thing is 18 by 24.
Really?
No, Marcus, I can't do that. I can't even afford that. This thing basically pays for itself.
Ricardo Federici. I love his stuff.
Yes, it's amazing. This thing's huge. He is a DC exclusive artist. And so usually what happens is he has to actually go and
they have to ask permission.
So he has 3 per year, and he gave us one of the slots. So really appreciate it. Shout out to his rep Fletch, who just started off as a rep as well. So yeah, Federici's awesome. He'll be at New York Comic Con as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's great. He's great. I mean, he has a beautiful penciling rendering style.
Great.
Hoarder's Hide. I don't know if he's here anymore, but Scott Brown. If you look at the Hoarder's Hide calf gallery, look under Federici, and you will see he's got this beautiful, beautiful page of the Spectre. Just gorgeous rendered pencils. It's just fantastic. And it's only recently on Instagram that I started noticing that Ricardo is able to paint, and he has amazing painting skills as well. Like, really amazing stuff, you know? So, really, really cool. Carl, okay, sorry, not that one. DJ says he was at OAX last year, I believe.
Yes, okay. I think Marcus mentioned that. I guess it was a sub. It's on the side, on the other side where the card art was. Where he was booth. All right, and
one
more.
Last one. Here we go.
Close us out.
Let's see what it is.
Oh, who is this? Who is this?
What the?
Guess.
What the hell? I wish it was bigger. I can't see it in size.
Man, so much details though. Oh my god. Who is this? You got this. You want a clue?
I almost want to say like, oh my, you didn't get, no, it's not Simonson. Am I looking at Simonson? No. Am I?
Okay, Tom guessed it. Mark Silvestri. Who else? Keep going. Not Silvestri.
You're killing my eyesight by, I'm like straining. Can
you make your green bigger? Capullo, okay, interesting. Nope, not Capullo. Chuck Arnold said Capullo.
All right, let's go to the color and let's figure it out, should we?
Here we go.
Oh, it's a Stephen Platt cover. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Mr. Platt himself, Mr. Moon Knight / Prophet himself, got a chance to break bread with him last year at New York Comic Con, and what a great individual. And I found out he is also in the movie business. In the space, and he came
storyboarding, or
he does storyboarding, and then he came back to comics this last year. Marcus guessed it at Mannix. It's pretty so solid.
That's the closest guess out of anybody for sure.
Tom, in fact, Steven actually was like wondering, like, man, like, why did you want the line art? And I said, it's because I want to showcase this at a show for art lovers. And he was like, oh, cool. But otherwise, he wasn't going to give it up because he said he wants his colors the way they are. So he also colored it. This guy's a master, man. His art's, evolved away from like the very splattery splat, but man, it's Stephen Platt, man. It's solid, very emotional, and like a perfect take on Jen / Brittany, the character.
Yeah, very cool.
Cool. We don't have to go through all this. This is going to be on the Kickstarter campaign, so we don't have to spoil it. I just had these slides here, but in case people...
I'll scroll through them. Why not?
I'll just talk about it. So because people have asked for it, like people love like Virgin variants, so we made a set that's only going to be available on Kickstarter, which is like the versions of all the variant covers. We go to the next one, and then because people asked for it as well, we did these mecha foil covers. So there's gonna be a gold, pink, and blue ocean blue foil.
Are you serious, Carl? Like you hear from people say, "Oh, I would really like it if you made these types of covers." Really?
Yeah. In fact, they said you have to because we are. There's our audience here, right? Which loves the art, the black and white stuff. Then there's the kind of comic book audience, which
Comic book people that are strictly comic books. They have to have the color.
You have to have this, right? Like, and then there's a Kickstarter audience, which is a whole thing of its own. I literally didn't believe that there was such a kick. Exactly, Carl called it. This was basically inspired by the Marvel Universe holograms.
Yeah.
And I felt like these covers so freaking awesome. We had to do like a really cool treatment. So I think we're calling it Mecha Gold and Pink Diamond and Pink Diamond foil, and then Ocean Blue foil for the last one. So yeah, it's a little bit nostalgic for us too. And then it's also going to be a one run and done. And then the last one, I think. Oh, actually, this is the metal covers. So this is this is a.
What does that mean? Mecha metal set. They're made out of steel.
The literally metal steel. I don't know what exactly metal they're using, but it's gonna be printed on there. So
really,
it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be metal covers, very heavy. But I know Nick at Dynamite does a lot of metal covers, which is kind of cool.
Oh, really?
So, okay. Yeah, it's gonna be different for sure.
Okay.
And then the last one is just everything, which is gonna be exclusive as well.
Whoa, what's that? Whoa.
Which includes everything. So it has all 6 of the main covers, and then it has pretty much like every single variant cover and mecha cover and foil cover, virgin cover available in the campaign. So yeah, those are all the different tiers. I guess my last slide is just like an ask. Oh, this one. How can I forget? Cover quality submission slide. Very limited. So Sean's so busy with stuff. Did we announce this or not? But you're
too busy. You're too busy with too many projects for your own good.
I'll announce it here because I don't know if it impacts anyone here, but we got a publishing deal, a licensing deal in China for the same publishers that publish 3 Body Problems. Because there's this.
Sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
The Netflix TV show 3 Body Problems is based on a very famous novel series in China, and it was one of the first science fiction. Because apparently, like you, China also hated science fiction.
Really?
But 3 Body Problems did so well for them. Now they have a whole initiative under this publisher to get more science fiction stories. So when they heard about us, they basically, licensed from us. Marcus, Sign Comics was too hard on the last one on us to coordinate everything. So we're just going to do more signings. And so the first one is going to be at New York Comic Con this weekend. So Daniel and Sean will be there, and really shouting out Daniel because, he doesn't have to take time out of his own, life to do this. And he does. He does very well to show up for a day to shoot a commercial or a movie set, but he's like all in with us. And so really, really shout out to Daniel for that. And then I guess the last slide.
And hold on. Since you've already sort of let the cat out of the bag, Carl, what exactly is the licensing deal? Like who's making what about what now?
They're going to license Evermind, translate it into Chinese, and distribute it in China.
Evermind?
Yeah.
You mean as a Chinese comic?
Chinese comic. Like,
wow.
So they're gonna break it into 2 volumes though. It's gonna be 1 through 3 as volume 1, and then 4 through 6 volume 2.
Okay, but whatever. That's who cares what the format is. But I'm curious. Is there any idea as to what the potential, like, being as conservative as possible, so you don't get too excited, for no reason potentially. Any idea what the potential minimum kind of audience there would be for this type of a product in China?
God, I've been in the business long enough now, Ruben, to just not even make any estimates.
No,
it's better just to
go with the flow and see what happens.
See what happens, because like I think when I was younger, I used to be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do XYZ," and man, more often or not, you're disappointed. And then on the one where it's like a throwaway something, all of a sudden it becomes your biggest thing. It's like the craziest unpredictable thing. So it's kind of depressing, but as much as we're in a dream job, it's also a job that you're chasing a dream, but you also can't overshoot.
Exactly, because then you just lead to disappointment, because it's a very tough business, right? So it's like very tough business. Absolutely. Okay,
So
and here we go.
yeah, the last slide is just how to help. One, I think tonight, Ruben, if you don't mind sharing that link again, is just to click on that link and click notify me on launch. The more the merrier. If you're still in the comics, which is interesting, I'm super curious on your review, which hopefully will close us out. On day one, the discounts are huge, and then the last thing is just tell a friend, and I consider Ruben a friend, and I told him about it, and he took the time to read it. So I'm super curious about this public feedback that you're about to give. A little nervous, also, excited.
No. Listen. Okay, so to start, let me quickly say again, as a reminder for anybody, there's always new people coming in and out. For those of you who don't know, I am someone who has either with novels, comics, movies, or TV shows, never been a fan of the science fiction genre. Now, there's, as I always say, there's exceptions to every rule. So sure, I've enjoyed some science fiction movies or what have you, or TV shows, but for the most part, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of robots, high-tech technology. I don't like hearing about I don't like reading the terminology, these words that are made up to describe certain technology. I have to work too hard to remember it. So anyways, so I came into this with the understanding that, okay, I'll enjoy the art for sure at a bare minimum, because Sean Chan did it, and I've always been a fan of his. But I thought, okay, let's, I'll go in with low expectations because of the fact that it's obviously science fiction looking. And this way, the bar is already low because it's set by me, right? I know myself and what I like and what I don't like. So by keeping that bar low, I go, what's the worst that can happen? The worst is that I feel it ends up being, okay, typical sci-fi thing for me. I just don't like sci-fi, and there's nothing really to say. I'm just not a sci-fi guy, so I disliked it, right? Or the sky really is the limit, right? It might surprise me, But I'll tell you what happened, Carl. I will say, so typically for me, on an average comic book, I spend 20 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes. Okay, it's what I take on a comic book. Now, keeping in mind that I may look at the art a little bit longer than the average reader, whatever. Let's call it 20 minutes. For Evermind, on the first issue, I think I read it so slowly, purposely, so slowly. And mind you, there was extra pages. It was longer than a standard.
Everything's way longer than a standard. Yeah. They're all in the 30s, 40s.
Yeah. But I took 45 minutes with the first issue. And I'll tell you this, tell all of you this, that thank God I did, because it was purposely reading it slowly and occasionally rereading something from time to time when, terminology, this high-tech type terminology, whatever, stuff that I just hate. I hate reading or listening to or hearing. And so I would reread occasionally, and I'd read slowly. And because I did, the story stuck with me more than it otherwise would. If I didn't do that, if I had taken my usual pace, 20 minutes, or maybe it would have been 24, 25 minutes because there was extra pages, whatever. But if I had done that, I probably would be like, I don't know, whatever. It's typical sci-fi shit. Robots, paramilitary guys shooting up. I don't know what's going on, but whatever. But because I took it slowly, I let it sink in, I really enjoyed it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And let me tell you something else. When I got to the fourth issue, and remember, I'm reading this at the time. You and I hadn't spoken in detail about it. So I had no clue. I was reading this thinking, oh, that'll be fun. At least I'll try this 4-issue miniseries. and then wondering, wait a second, is it just the first 4, but it's maybe longer? I don't know. Do I have the complete thing? I didn't know.
No, 5 and 6 is not available yet.
Yeah, and that's it, right? Now I know, obviously. But so when I got to the end of the 4th one, I wanted to go to the 5th one. Let me see. I was like, hey, what's this? Like, it hasn't ended yet. It's like a cliffhanger again. Like, where's the rest? I'm like, it doesn't end here. I want to know what happens. So I guess that's the best thing I can say, really, Carl, and to everybody else is like, for me, as a guy who typically doesn't enjoy sci-fi, yeah, man, just taking it slowly to let everything sink in, to help me understand all the different things that were going on. It made all the difference, and I gotta say, it was like a lot of fun. And yeah, I want to read 5 and 6 because like it's fun, and I'm frustrated. I couldn't read the whole story. So I guess that's the best way I can put it, Carl, is to say, listen, it was really fun. I don't know what else to say. I usually dislike sci-fi, but I'm looking forward to being able to finish the story. So
awesome. That's good to know. So maybe we got a convert. Yay.
Yeah.
Now, the way you describe it, exact same for me. Every time, and that's as simple for me, like when I read books from our teams, did I have fun? Do I want more? I mean, those are very like questions that I ask myself. And man, and the last thing was about the time it took. And Sean had warned me on this. He said, look, I know you want this to be 6 issues, but the story I'm telling is really actually 12 issues. So,
oh, really?
So, well, in his head, he said
in his head, the idea to fulfill the entire thing, he knows it's going to take at least 12. Yeah.
But because of that, he had the foresight to make it very dense, and so you'll notice, for some of the pages, there's not a lot of DPSs, if any, I think, in the whole series. Everything's very dense in the way it's written. So it feels almost like a manga meets American comic in a way, where there's a lot going on in every page. And so, yeah.
And by the way, that also is a thing about comics that, even if it's not science fiction, I feel like it irks me. I'm like, man, I just want it to be easy, lay back, and enjoy without making too much effort to think about the story and too much going on, right? But yeah, and that was also part of why I took 45 minutes with that first issue, on purpose, yes, but also it was a lot wordier than I expected it to be. But it was okay because, again, taking it slowly, let it sink in more, helped me to understand, again, a lot of things going on. And usually that's what I hate. I hate when writers try to write too much. There's too many things going on. I don't want to think of all these things. Just keep one simple kind of plot and that's it, I want it simple. But again, for me, that's what worked. Most of you guys who love science fiction, you'll probably read it in 20 minutes or less, because that's the speed you usually read at. And if you like science fiction, I'm sure you'll really enjoy it, reading it quickly. So either way, I think you if you're a science fiction fan, I can't imagine you wouldn't enjoy it, because if I enjoyed it, not being a sci-fi fan, yeah, I would. And it's fun. And like I said, even though there's elements that I normally don't like again, heavy writing, a lot of writing, there's a lot of words to read, a lot of sort of plots going on, a lot of things going on, a lot of characters, a lot of organizations that are involved in the plot.
Yeah, a lot of organizations.
And that's typically for me, that's confusing. I don't want to have to remember who's who, what's what. But I made the effort by going slowly, and that's what helped me out a lot. And it was great. Yeah, that's what I said. And JC, just gotta say, clearly he didn't need Gromit to do the variant, and he made me a fan. So it worked, right? Like I just have to go a little more slowly, and I give credit to Sean, not only for obviously the nice art, that was a given.
Yeah.
But yeah, like really, really nice story so far. We'll see. I haven't finished the story yet.
I'm so excited. And I'm curious, did you notice a difference in style between issues 1 through 3 and then to 4, because 1 through 3 was definitely a grind and learning, and kind of we had pages added in to fill things in with editorial, and then 4 he definitely was off his training wheels and was really intentional in driving the rest of the story forward. And then Terry Cavanaugh gave a little bit of feedback, but it wasn't a lot. So did you feel like there was a shift?
I felt, I don't know, I didn't know how to
basically there was time off between issue 3 and 4, so that's why I'm curious if you noticed anything.
I didn't know how to describe it, but I remember reading 4th, and I knew I was on my last issue available to me, and I could tell at that point by issue 4 I was like, there's no way they're going to wrap this up. This is not the last issue, but whatever. It's like, okay, that's cool. I'll read it. I'll read the rest whenever they come out. But I was thinking to myself, is this kind of like starting a new? It feels like it's a little lighter now. Like all of a sudden, the heaviness is how I describe it. Sorry, I don't have the best words for this, but I was like, yeah, it was like the first 2 issues, super heavy, a lot's going on. And then on that 4th issue, I was like, it felt lighter to me. Like, okay, this is becoming a little easier for me to I don't have to read as slowly as I was before, and simpler. And I was like, oh, I wonder if it's kind of setting up a new kind of the next half of the story or something. I don't know. I couldn't tell, but I noticed something was different. I can't describe exactly with proper words what was different, but I was noticing something,
Yeah, the way I describe it is it was like Game of Thrones, like the early episodes.
I haven't seen it.
All the setup. Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay.
No. I'm never going to see it, so you can ruin the surprise.
Okay, well, the setup is it's a lot of character building, a lot of world building, and then you're wondering why certain things were introduced. And then once you got all the lay of the land, you care about the characters, then it was like all war. It was like just action, adventure, everything that we love to see on big blockbuster film. So so that's kind of what to expect for issue 4 through 6, where it's really now things going to the ish is it'll just be everything going to ish, and just everything will collide, and then you'll see the results of it all. So all the payoffs are there.
Right.
JT, shame.
Trade cover blurb. Typical sci-fi shit. Robots, paramilitary guys shooting up. I don't know, but whatever. I really enjoy it.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
that would be awesome. I would love to get up the trade. You know what? If I saw that quote like that, Carl, on the back of a trade, I'd buy it just for that quote. I'd be like, okay, I gotta read this now. I want to see what the hell that's all about. Oh my god,
you might end up on the back of the trade,
dude. So funny. I was not in the bathroom. No, I wasn't. Bathroom copy? No. I'm not in I wasn't in the bathroom. I was in the living room, relaxing on the sofa. Who doesn't love sci-fi? I can't be the only guy who doesn't love. Don't act like you've never heard of anybody not liking sci-fi. I believe Peter Rowe mentioned, he's not here tonight. I believe he mentioned he was one of the guys who also not a big sci-fi fan. Or Scott Hoarder's Hide, I think, also doesn't like sci-fi. There's plenty, trust me. Are the world's multi-select slow you down? Yes. Have at it, you guys. You can laugh all you want. Now's your, Sunday night. This is your chance. Less wordy stuff, more pictures. Oh, there's plenty of both, though. Don't worry, Mike. I need to write the foreword to the book. I probably should. We would love the Ned Stark character. Who's Ned Stark? That sounds familiar, actually. Oh, is that from Game of Thrones? There's somebody.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Okay. I'm not really into, other than Conan, Red Sonja, I'm not a science fiction fantasy guy.
Good night, Tom.
Oh, sorry. And Lord of the Rings, I love that. That's fine. Only the movies. I would never read that. I wouldn't want to read fantasy, but yeah, the movies like Lord of the Rings, fantastic. Ruben hasn't seen Game of Thrones. No, I told you guys, JT, I fast forwarded through the entirety of the first season.
What?
And I saw way too much sex happening. Like it seemed like every every second scene was sex. I was like, okay, I don't care about that. Like, I just want story. Yeah, and so yeah, I wasn't into it. I just didn't want to take a chance. I did try the first episode at not fast forward pace, regular pace. It just didn't grab me. Yeah, again, it's fantasy. It's that kind of stuff I typically don't like. So Lord of the Rings was definitely an exception to the rule for me. All right, catch you later, Carl. Thanks for hanging out. There you go, JT. Not a sci-fi fan myself, more into epic fan. Okay, you're into fantasy, but that's fine. But not a sci-fi guy. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You see, Tom, and Carl, just like Prawn. What's Prawn? Ruben wants to know the pizza guy's story arc. Prawn? What's Prawn?
I don't know Prawn.
The shit calms down in the later seasons. Oh, anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, I'm super happy to have done that. What can I say, Carl? I appreciate that you came on and wanted to do this. I mean, obviously, it's good extra promo for you, obviously, but I still appreciate it. Like, it gives me something else to do on one of these hangouts where, like I said, anything goes. So this is part of anything. Why not, right? You're a friend, and if I can help send a few more people your way, that'd be great. And especially happy not to only have helped you do this, but I appreciate that you allowed me to read it. And yeah, glad to be able to let you know what I think. And those were my honest feelings. And if anybody watching this is like me, especially, but anybody really, right? But especially if you are not a science fiction fan, typically, like I said, if it got me interested, I really think you'd be interested. Yeah. So yeah, man, good stuff. I'm very happy to help give my own promotion for it, because yeah, it was really, really good. Story and art, really enjoyed it. And I'm still enjoying it because the story's not over. So yeah, everybody.
Yeah, more issues, I think, and big issues. They're like 30 pages.
Yeah, they're really dense. Yeah, like a lot of pages per issue. So you'll get your money's worth. There's the link again, everybody. Yeah, support it, or at the very least, like Carl says, maybe follow the Kickstarter.
Yeah, you click yes. For those who are just coming in,
at a bare minimum,
just click the notify me on launch.
Yeah, notify me on launch. That's the follow thing or whatever.
Yeah, we would really appreciate it, and
that helps.
Correct. It helps with the algorithm, and people just get excited for more followers. And we're launching in 2 days, so day one's gonna be a lot of discounted tiers and specials and exclusives. But more importantly, there's gonna be very limited original art tier, because Sean's too busy this time around. And so yeah, thank you all the guys who supported even on the first one. But this one will be special. It'll be really getting things to move forward.
Marcus,
wow.
yeah. Can you imagine, Marcus, how positive and how awesome of a review it is from me that my biggest hang-up was indeed the choice of a pink color on the stairs behind a pink-colored girl on one of the variant covers. I mean, and by the way, I hadn't seen that when I read the thing. I just saw that with you guys at the same time tonight. So, but no, in all seriousness, no hang-ups at all, Carl. Really, really proud of the job.
It's cool to hear. Thanks for being completely honest about that. And
yeah,
I'll definitely report back to Sean.
And great. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know how much that's going to mean to him, but whatever. But yeah, let him know if you want. But yeah, I
thanks, Tom. Yeah, spread the word. And if you know any folks that loves this kind of book, please spread the word, and really appreciate it.
Remind everybody, though, Carl. So this first Kickstarter, will this be? Did you mention 6 issues together, or as like you can buy the separate comics, or how does that all work?
Yeah, you could buy like the separate variant covers themselves. You could buy the separate books themselves.
Okay.
Or you could buy packages of all the books. So you buy 1 through 6 if you want. So you could. They're all available.
But is it not being? Is the Kickstarter not for the collected edition?
Not collected edition. It's the 6 issues themselves.
Oh, so it's still okay. So no matter what, it's only so far available as comic books.
Correct. All comic books, and then next year we'll get into shops. And yeah, Tom, if you want to do some sort of retail package, let me know. We'd love to collaborate and do something cool.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the 6 individual issues not collected yet.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah, and Tom can make you your own cover for your shop. That'd be fun.
Yeah, one of those shop exclusive variants. You got 4. He's got 4 shops.
Yeah.
He's got 4 shops. He's got a little chain going, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's killing it.
Yeah. So great, man. That's a fantastic. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, that's it. What are we going to talk about next?
All right. You're not, by the way, everybody, Carl, this guy, as you know, he's like a man about town, but not only town, he's a man about the world. He's literally flying back and forth all over the world constantly. And he literally just got off a plane a couple of hours before we went live, and he's still here and wants to hang out. I'm like, get the hell out of here and go get some rest, go sleep or something. I don't know, but he wants to hang out. Yeah, I got a couple of I got a couple of other topics I want to get to. Let me see here. Which one should I get to first? So I want to say, yeah. So let me get to a quick one. So you guys saw on the Pinky Tuscadero, yeah, and don't forget Leather Tuscadero, the sister. All right, CJ, you forgot Leather. I brought her. I brought up Pinky once on one show, and then Mickey had to remind me about Leather. So this time I'm not forgetting. Furniture is getting ready to sell. Furniture store getting ready to sell soon. What? Furniture store? You have a furniture store? You're confusing me now, Tom. Do you own a furniture store? I don't know. Let us know. Yeah. So another topic for this evening was that you got. Yes, I do. Wow, I didn't know that. So cool. Okay. So 1 furniture store and 4 comic shops. That's what it is, Tom. I guess that's it. Wow. You got more businesses than Jesus. That's so many people. Wow.
That's why he's always busy. Tom's always busy.
For sure. So yeah, guys, you guys saw on here. I know you noticed for the topics. You see the bottom one, local art deal made this week there.
Ooh.
And yeah, I know, like you guys, you know, I said earlier in the show, like I know you guys probably thinking, yeah, what's the big deal? A lot of people do, you know, local art deals or whatever. It's a big deal only in the sense that, again, there's just, even though I live in a big city with a large population, there's never been really an original art presence here. So it's just shocking whenever anybody reaches out to me, like from locally within the city, that I've never heard of before, and is talking about original art, you know? And so I got an email from a guy, actually. So it turns out I didn't know where he was from initially. He contacted me through my website, right? So he contacts me through the website, and he says, yeah, do you buy original art? And I said, yeah, well, you know, it depends. I do, but it depends. What is it? Depends if, you know, you tell me the price. If I like it and the price is right, I buy it. And then, so he showed me a few pieces, a few things. And unfortunately, you know, so this is what makes the story not that exciting. And that's why it's going to be a pretty quick story. You know, it wasn't one of those amazing situations where suddenly he had a Jim Lee X-Men cover. Nothing like that. It's the exact opposite, really. Pretty what we would call minor stuff, right? So he showed me photos of a few things. The first couple of things he showed me were 2 pages from the Canadian comic from the 80s called Mr. X. Whoever know, you know, if you're familiar with that, you may be familiar with the fact that it was created by Dean Motter mostly drawn by Paul Rivoche, Canadian guys, and very beautiful graphic approach to the artwork. Excellent art. Never read the title though, so I don't know how the stories work. But he showed me 2 pages from Mr. X that didn't even have Mr. X on them, but they were drawn by Seth. So for you guys who are only into mainstream comics, you probably don't know who Seth is. But he was a Canadian artist who he passed away now several years ago. Is what you would call a very indie artist. But even I didn't know that Seth had ever drawn Mr. X. In fact, I didn't know that Seth's career started back in the late 80s. This was a 1989 comic of Mr. X. And so the thing was like, I had no idea what it would be worth. And I also didn't really want it for my own collection. But I figured I'd like to buy it if only because I know that there are Seth fans out there. But I just had no idea how to value it. So instead of just coming up with some random value and offering, I said, you know what? This happened just days before I left town to go to Jeff Singh's house for his annual comic art collector gathering. And so I told the guy, I said, you know what? I'm going to be in Toronto for the weekend, and I'm going to be with a couple of dozen other comic art collectors. I go, this is not really stuff that has a big following, but I feel like there's going to be at least a couple of guys that would be interested in this type of stuff. So give me the weekend and I'll see if there's any interest. And then if there is, I'll just have them make you an offer. Because this is the thing, is that this guy, I asked him, listen, can you give me prices? And he was like, I really prefer that you just make me an offer. He goes, I haven't bought art in so long. It turned out that the art that he had that he was offering me, all of it was pages he had bought between 1989 and 1992 or 3 or something like that.
Damn, I wish I was buying art at the time.
Yeah.
Real quick, my wife just finished her work, so I'm gonna have to join her for dinner. But thanks again.
Go for it, baby. Go for it.
Good seeing everybody. Good seeing you, Ruben.
All right, Colin. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. Hi to the wife.
Will do.
All right, man. Take it easy. And so anyway, so I she said I bought them way back then, and so I don't really know the values, right? He never became an art collector. It turns out that he was just buying art here in Montreal at the local conventions, right? He ultimately told me he was in Montreal when I mentioned I was going to go to Toronto. He said, I'm in Montreal. And I said, oh, well, if we make a deal, it'll be easy because I am in Montreal too, And so anyway, so I went to Jeff's house, as you guys know. And as it turned out, my friend Bob Cotman, who I've mentioned many times in the past, he's been here a few times. One of my first guests with the Canadian crew on my first episode of Comic Art Roundtable. And I know that Bob is into that indie type of stuff. So I was hoping maybe he would be interested. And, long story short, he came up with a price. He also had no idea what to offer. He came up with a price. I offered the guy that price. I said, look, my friend wants to offer you this much for the pages. The guy said, yeah, okay, sounds fair. Okay, that was done. He also had offered me like 10 pages of Kato art. Kato, yes. The Kato that you're thinking. Green Hornet's partner, Kato. From Now Comics, I think 1994. And it wasn't even a Green Hornet comic. It was literally a Kato comic. A solo Kato comic. Now, the only redeeming sort of aspect to it was that Brent Anderson did the artwork. So it was nice Brent Anderson art. I don't know who inked it. I never checked it up. And I like Brent Anderson, but it was Kato. And so I just told him, look, for this stuff, this is the kind of stuff that if I already had it, I would just keep it in a package of 10 pages, put it on eBay as a 10-page lot, and let it ride. And you get what you get for it, you know? It's not something that I would want to make an offer on. I literally, I wouldn't even want to give you like $10 a page for it. It's just, it's too cheap, right? It's certain things I would have to take it, and then I would have to scan everything, and then have to spend time, you know, manipulating the scan to make it look as good, you know, as close to the original art as possible. And then I'd have to upload it to the website. So it's a lot of work for something that you're not going to get a return on, right? I just don't expect anybody to come to my website and suddenly buy a $50 or $75 Cato page, you know? So I just told him, you know, that's for that stuff, I just recommend you eBay it. And then he said, well, I don't want to deal with eBay, whatever. I just deal locally. He's a comic guy. All these years, he's been a comic guy, wheeling and dealing raw comics, so non-CGC raw comics, you know. And he said, okay, that's fine. Maybe I'll try to put some up for consignment at a local comic shop, you know. And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then he showed me the first page to Deathstroke the Terminator. I think it was issue 22. It was the first page, but it wasn't the title page. So it's not a splash. It's a panel page. I mean, the art's fine looking, but it's by, again, a local French-Canadian artist that never really made it big, worked in the early 90s for DC for a while. His name is Gabriel Morissette. I think he might have done some Checkmate stuff. I forget. But his claim to fame here in Montreal was that he started off as an indie artist with writer Mark Shaneblum. And he was the artist on this co-created indie called Northgard. And it was kind of like a Canadian superhero, you know, the whole maple leaf emblem designed costume, like Guardian. And it took place in Montreal. So that's what was really, really cool about that comic. It's cool to see all the famous streets and landmarks and stuff, you know, while you read the stories. So that was fun. But yeah, really a random Deathstroke page. As much as I love Deathstroke by Gabriel Morissette, I wouldn't want it for my collection. I thought maybe I could sell it for $150 or $175 or something like that. So I said, I'd give you $100, you know. I offered him $100 and he said, I'll keep it for that price. I'm like, no problem. So that was that. And then finally I said, anything else? And then the last thing he showed me was a cover to The Demon. So it was The Demon number 8 by Val Themix and inked by Denis Rodier, who is a local, you know, a local inker artist who used to ink Tom Grummett back in the mid to late 90s on Superman. And yeah, on that one, we ended up doing a deal on that one. And I don't collect Demon. I don't collect Semix or Semix, however you say his name, art. But I bought it because I thought, I know some people who do. I know Caesar. I don't know if Caesar, if you're still watching, listening. But I know that, you know, there's I know Rick. I believe Rick is a fan. And no, there was no Elf Lord art. But I thought, you know what? I don't do many trades, but who knows? Maybe one day I can trade my way out of it or something for some other stuff. Because I have a Robin cover. I have a Robin cover, a great Robin cover, by Tom Grummett actually, that I would keep, but I always feel like if I can get like another Titans cover, a Grummett Titans cover, New Titans, something like that, you know, I'd be willing to maybe contemplate trades with people. So, you know, whatever. I got my Robin cover. I'm willing to trade. So now I've got a Demon cover. Actually, check it out. I can show you. These are the two Mr. X pages, just to see what kind of art Seth. This is not even the style that Seth is known for now. Obviously, the Seth fans, they'll tell you that. But he was keeping in style of Paul Revach and Dean Motter, right? Who started the Mr. X series. So very blocky, you know, simplified, less is more. Sort of animation style stuff. Very graphic, a very graphic approach to the artwork. So that's they're two consecutive pages. So it was that one, and then this one. There you go. The car ran into a billboard. That's a giant billboard at the bottom there. All right. And yes, indeed, Rickster. There you go. So stained glass, really, really, really cool. Obviously not the Demon for real with a full body, you know, like most people would like to have. But at least from a graphic, you know, from an aesthetic point of view, it's beautiful. It's always been a very beautiful designed cover, beautifully designed cover, you know. So yeah, so there you go, and that's that. And that's it. That's all. That's all we did. I ended up meeting the gentleman in person. I figured I'll get together. I took him out to lunch, bought him some lunch, and yeah, we had a great chat. You know, these things, the way they go sometimes, a small world being a small world sometimes, right? He was only 2 years older than me, and I ended up finding out that even though I didn't recognize him, which I still find it odd, he said he, back in the late 80s and into the early 90s, he said he used to set up at the local cons here. I don't recognize him, and I recognize pretty much everybody from back then. I remember everybody from back then. But whatever. And so he used to set up and sell comics at the cons, you know. And I did for a few years myself, which is more reason why it's weird that I wouldn't recognize him. And he didn't recognize me. And yeah, so that was it. We did our deal, and yeah, nice guy. Very, very happy, lovely to have met him. He says his brother does have some art, but is not looking to sell it now. But didn't say that there's anything, you know. I asked about, like, you know, being that he was buying from Canadian artists who were coming to the local shows. I thought, wow, any chance you ended up getting anything from McFarlane when he came, or Dale Keown when he came? And I think he said he stopped going to the conventions before those guys were guests. So he didn't have anything from them. Yeah. So that's it. That's my story about a local art deal. So it was fun. Let me jump back in, guys. Of course, as you know, I am not looking at your comments because I'm alone now. So I don't have time to stop talking. I got to keep it rolling. Let me see. So let me rewind at least a little bit. Well, it was not through Illustrad. Obviously, you know, it's Seth. Canoe Man, the comic. Ruben wants some 4 on the floor art with canoe head pages. What the hell are you talking about? What? Carl later. Carl. No all floor art. No Tariffs update tonight. You got the Tariffs update tonight. You got it. What are you talking about? That means you just revealed yourself to have left earlier when I did my tariff update, Tom. This way, now we know that you don't stick around for the whole show like you make everybody think you do. Now we know you go away and then come back from time to time. All right, package deal for what? For the those 10 Cato pages? Yeah, I just can't. It's not worth the value. It's not worth the time that just the time I'll have to put into it to market them. not worth getting. Demon cover. So no, I didn't get them all. Like I said, I let him keep the Kato pages plus that Deathstroke page. Let me see with how many dealers recycling are fresh to markets. Yeah, that was really, to me, that was the fun part. Like, even though it's not like, wow, some Jim Lee or McFarlane type piece, just the fact that it was stuff that it was tucked away in a private collection. Some the Mr. X pages since 1989. Yeah, and the Demon cover, I think, since 1992 or something like that. Yeah, it's always fun to uncover stuff for the first time that you've never seen before, So, yeah, exactly. Very nice. It's always fun. Hey, DJ, still here. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, I thought that was fun. It was just fun to meet somebody new. And like I said, just knowing that he had been around. And I have a friend who goes and sometimes sells statues and comic books on consignment at a local comic shop. And this guy that I had met who sold me this art, he also told me he grew up with the owner of that comic shop. And he, to this day, also goes there and sometimes puts comics and statues on consignment. Like, what a crazy small world that is, So, yeah, it's pretty wild. So it's just kind of a fun thing to happen, out of the blue without any warning. I am not auctioning it off tonight. No. No, I don't think so. I can't, that wouldn't be the plan. I can't imagine, unless I had it for years and then one day decided to sell, to consign a whole bunch of stuff to them. Then, it could be thrown in with everything else. But otherwise, no. Carl knew where this was going. Ruben has to keep it for 5 years. Nice. I don't, because I didn't buy it at an auction. Although I guess that doesn't really matter. But good point though. Talking about liquidating his art 3 weeks ago, talking about his mortality. That's true. I talk about that. I've been talking about that for years, Mark. It's not just for 3 weeks ago. No, neither. Coincidentally. Hopefully his brother bought Marvel. No, actually, Tom, you know what? DC. Yeah, they were both DC fans. He told me. And so when I asked, what kind of stuff does your brother have? He was like, he has stuff like Nightwing and some Teen Titans, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I didn't ask for any, specifics like artists, time period issues or whatever. But I'm thinking from the 90s, early 90s, stuff like that. I doubt it would be like George Perez or anything like that, especially since these guys were buying from the local cons. And George never, to my knowledge, he never came here until 2012. So why am I the ignorer? Oh, I missed you. Okay, bye, DJ. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, I know, good Lord. I know you are. Those pages make good gifts. You want me to hand these out for free? Why would I do that? Does anybody at the get-together give me anything? Are you nuts? I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem anyone around. Which version? The Tiffany version? I think you love Tiffany. I think you're a Tiffany guy. What else? Ruben's like Nero Wolf rarely leaves his study. Hope you didn't need to hit the head. And Yevgeny's back home from being on the road. Nice. Have a good one, Maki Poo Poo. Have a great week, pal. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of that story. What else do we got? What else? Okay, so yeah. Since we're already 11, I may not even really get to the comics. And I don't really have much to talk about in terms of film or television. I haven't seen much. I saw a little bit. So yeah, let me tell you about let me get to this. Have a good time at the convention, Michael, by the way. Yeah. Tiffany's birthday was yesterday? How would you know something like that? That's all right, Yevgeny. Whatever, man. You catch what you can and you miss what you have to. That's it. No worries. Yeah, have a great week and enjoy the convention again, Michael. So we'll talk about the Sydney Sweeney thing. I just wanted you guys to see this thing. I'm sure some of you probably saw it. Yeah, you're not going to stretch the show out that way, Stanley. I'm going to show you some stuff here, guys. And this is, again, some of you may have seen this already on social media. And if you do, oh, well, you've already seen it. You'll have to just stick with us. But this kind of was I was going to show you, and I was going to show you this, and then it was going to lead into that conversation we had earlier about the casting of certain female characters, you know? I wouldn't call it AI. No, it's not quite AI. I mean, I believe it's not AI. What I read was that it was handmade. So let's check it out. Yeah, let me put the black screen here so that or maybe hold on, maybe I can move over to the side. Nah, whatever. I'll do this. So I can at least I'll still stay on the screen. All right. Tiffany from the late 80s, Tiffany, right? The musician we're talking about. The solo singer. The one who started singing at shopping malls. That one. That's the one I was talking about. So unless you tell me your wife's name was Tiffany, which I don't know, then I don't know. Then we're talking about something different. So it is that you're talking about the singer. Yeah, yeah, because I remember she was around my age. I remember that. So yeah, that would make sense that she's 54 now. Yeah. Okay, so Tommy James and the Shondells. Yeah, me too, Rick. Although I will give Tiffany credit. At the time it was catchy and I did enjoy it. But of course I prefer Tommy James and the Shondells. And what about Breakfast at Tiffany's? I did enjoy that. Jason. Of course, even when I first saw it though, I saw it I think 2 or 3 times. I got to tell you, even the first time that I saw it, which, okay, granted, it wasn't really back in the 80s or like when I was a kid. Maybe it was in the late 90s or early 2000s, something like that. I was very disturbed. Like I was groaning and rolling my eyes at the scene with, what's his name? What's his name? The guy who dated Judy Garland from Wizard of Oz. The short guy. He was known because he was short. Whatever. He played the apartment superintendent. Okay. Oh, did I just see speakers cutting out? Hold on, guys. Thanks for confirming, Tom. Thanks for confirming. If anybody else, yeah, somebody else answer. If only, don't answer unless you are cutting out, though. I think it might be your phone service. Or Tom says that the speaker is cutting in and out. Thank you. Hey, Ron. What's up, Ron? Look at this, guys. This is, let me just get off topic for a quick minute. I want to thank Ron publicly because a few days back, he reached out to me privately through Instagram just to give me an example of a piece of art that had been resold in less than 5 years at auction. And he figured I could use it for a future show. And I appreciate that. So that's this is what I'm always so thankful for to you guys for. I get guys who, Ron, you never see Ron here in the chat with us live. And yet he's watching. And then he's looking out for me that way. I appreciate that. So I thanked him obviously privately, but I figured it's worth thanking him publicly as well too, because although it's not been difficult to find examples that I need for the Stop the Insanity series, I'm always happy to see people send me some from time to time because I may not have them. You never know. I may not, I can't see them all, right? So thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. And yes, and thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me it was Mickey Rooney. Exactly. Andy Rooney. I used to love that old curmudgeon, Andy Rooney, Marcus. I used to love him. I was sad when he passed away. Back to normal. Glad to hear it, Mike. Glad to hear it. Yeah, so I just wanted to say I did enjoy the movie. I love I love it, and who doesn't love her singing Moon River, George Peppard as a young man, as opposed to the older man he looked like when he was on the A Team when we were all kids, but yeah, enjoyed the movie. But even that first time I saw it, I cringed so hard at when he first comes on scene with the ridiculous fake buck teeth and all. Oh my god, so bad. Like, yeah, that's awful. So I have on occasion thought, hey, maybe I'll watch that again. And then when I would think about the Rooney character, I'd be like, ugh, you know what? I don't know if I want to see that again just because of that stupid, the character, yeah. But you love it when a plan comes together at Tiffany's. I'm sure you do. Chevy Chase sung in the movie Fletch. I didn't see Fletch, but I'll take your word for it. Rooney was great, and he was in Night at the Museum. I saw that. I don't remember. I saw it years so long ago, so I don't remember. I thought it was an okay movie. I didn't think it was great. So let me get back to what I was saying, guys. Here, it's going to make it difficult to break this up into chapters because, of course, I can't start a new topic and then suddenly get off topic and go back and talk about another one. Let me do this with the the old guards. Yeah, thank you, Tom. Thank you. That's what I was kind of thinking. It might have been a guard. So the Sydney Sweeney thing. So here, check this out. I'll go here. And I'm going to show you a series of scans. All right. Check this out. This lets you, it kind of gives you an idea, a really great idea of what it could look like if, at least from the neck up, facial wise, because when you're going to see these scans, the figure is way exaggerated you'll see for obvious reasons. Okay, the proportions. But yeah, very cool. Check this out. All right, let me see if I can make myself at least a little bigger. Okay, I can. All right, I'll go here. All right, so check this out. I've got plenty so you can see from a different views. Here you go again. Here you go again. See, turning ever so slightly. There you go. You get one side view. And then one rear view. And then these are my favorites. The next four are my favorites because you really get to get that feeling of what it could be like if she, in particular, was cast as a superhero character, Check this out. All right. And then from this angle, same exact angle, but just a closing in with the camera. There you go. But man, that is so cool. That is so cool. And like I said, guys, what I read was that apparently it's a sculpt, right? A sculpt. So to me, when I hear that, that means somebody hand sculpted. But you guys who are into statues probably know a lot more than I do about that stuff. And I do have to say that because it looks so much like her, the likeness is so spot on in the face. I feel like, is it really possible that it's handmade? Or is this kind of like with a laser where somebody draws her on a computer and then they use the computer to laser cut the maquette? You know what I mean? The statue, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not sure, but let me jump in and see if you guys are saying. I photoshopped these myself. Well, no, because you know she's got, Jason. You know she's got, but even she ain't got that much, you know. So there, look at that picture. Hands on. I am not a statue collector. See, that's what I'm saying, Goo. Exactly. This is what I'm. Again, I don't know. If it wasn't such a great likeness on the face, I would assume that, okay, yeah, it's somebody hand carved, you know, the model, like with clay or whatever, and then you fire it old school in the oven, and then you make copies of it or whatever with a mold, you know. But given that the you know, on okay, this is just one of the statues. It's not, you know, you never know how big or how small the actual clay statue, right? The original might be. But usually artists don't seem to work all that big. Certainly not big enough that I would feel they'd be able to capture a famous person's likeness this well. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm like I said, they called it the guy said, it was the guy himself who said, "Oh, this is my latest one, my latest sculpt." He called it a sculpt. This is my latest sculpt. So to me, when you say that, it sounds like it means you sculpted it, right? With clay and with chisels or whatever tools you're using. But again, I feel like it's impossible to get such a great likeness with the facial likeness when you're working with clay on such a, you know, even if it was like this big, let's say, you know. I don't know. I guess if it was that big, yeah, you could get a likeness, but I don't know. It just feels like it might have been something computerized and then with a laser cut out, you know, 3D printed, like you're saying, Goo. So I don't know. Think to Goo. But anyways, I got a couple more here, everybody. From just a slightly different angle. You get another shot of the face tilted. See, look at that. I mean, that's beautiful. It's fabulous. Such a, you know, look, I won't be as impressed if I found out it was a 3D printed thing, you know, off of a, you know, done with computers. Then that's not impressive. Somebody tells me it's a sculpt. If it's something done with hands, then yeah, to me that's impressive. But whatever. Either way, it looks really, really cool. And like I said, I liked it mainly just because I said, yeah, I've been saying for a while, somebody needs to hire her to be in a solo female superhero movie. So all the attention's just on her. And one with a costume that's going to show off her assets. And that would kill. It would kill at box office. You know, make it small budget. You know, make it, say, a $20 million budget type thing. And it'll probably rake in, you know, 100 or 200 grand, million. But check out this close-up. Right? So yeah, so there you go. And let's see, they then cast her in every role. Hey, I'd be happy with one good one. You know, one good one in a solo movie. You know? The head can be put on a different statues. Think Dugu? I don't know what Think Dugu is. Huh. I don't know. Just did SS as PGO. Sydney Sweeney as PGO. Okay. Yeah, Tom, for sure. I'm glad you're a fan. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, come on. Come on, Stanley. Seriously? I'll give you two good reasons. How about that? And there you go. CJ already told you, you know. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else I need to tackle? So let me do quickly, and then we'll get out of here. See if I can do this by in the next 13 minutes and finish it off as 3.5 hours at 11:30. So, okay, next topic, everybody. comic books. What have I been reading? So I didn't read a lot, but I did want to mention, I decided to read. First of all, I read the latest issue of News from the Fallout, which I had promoted on a previous Hangout episode, right? And I even used the art from it as the background of my thumbnail. And so that is, the fourth issue came out. I read that, and that continues to be good. Again, it's an ongoing series right now. So obviously, in case people haven't tried it out and they want to or intend to, can't say really anything about it. But still enjoying it. Another issue. It does remind reading that issue though. It just reminded me though of how much. It was just another reminder of how much I hate the monthly comic mechanism for delivering the comic book product. It's just a reminder how much I hate it. I'm just like, because I read it, right? I read it quickly. 20 minutes later at most, it's gone. It's over with. It's done. And I was like, oh boy, now it's another 30, 28 days, whatever. It's another month to wait just to see what happens. Like, I just hate it. It's just, feeding me in little drips like that. Again, it's too childish. It's too childish of a the floppy monthly comic thing. It's a kid's product. That's what it was. That's what it still is. And we're all adults now. Yeah. OGNs all the way, baby. Graphic novels. That's where it's at. But anyways. So that's good. And then I decided I wanted to go and read some older stuff that I've been wanting to reread for a long time. And so I gave a chance to Sensational She-Hulk. I'll tell you why. I was as big a John Byrne fan as anybody back in the 80s. I loved She-Hulk. I always loved She-Hulk. And when I read Sensational She-Hulk back in the 80s, I really loved it. I just thought it was really funny. And I got a real kick out of the whole breaking the fourth wall aspect of the comic. Okay, so what did I think about it on reread? And I've read so far the first, I believe, 5 issues. All right, issues 1 to 5. Okay, indeed. And she's nude in many, many things. So you can see that in a lot of places. Yeah. Tricky Trapster, what's good? Hey, yo. And now all art blends together if you read it all at the same time. Well, that type of art in particular, yeah, I gotta admit, Marcus. Okay, let me just get back to News from the Fallout for a second, guys. I feel because it's so graphic, right? It's just about shapes, and there's no color, right? You're talking about all the characters are in silhouette, complete silhouette. I find it sometimes a little bit difficult to follow along with the storytelling. It gets kind of like, oh, wait a second, who's this? Who's that? Who's she or who's he? You know what I mean? I don't know. Do you find that? Have you gotten a little bit mixed up? So yeah, so the constant silhouetting, yeah, I find it's a little bit tough. And I certainly could see what you're saying about all blending together if you read it all in one shot. But I don't mean for the art. I mean story-wise, right? Just reading-wise. Yeah, I feel like it because those issues go pretty quickly. It's a pretty quick read. And so I feel like, I just want to read the whole story in one shot, but too late now, obviously, since I've read the first 4 issues. So, but the wait in between, it's too long. And I always forget what I read the month before. That's my problem. If you remember what happened the month before, then sure, it's not a problem, But I always forget. So, but yeah, let's jump back to She-Hulk. Love the She-Hulk in the 80s. The writing, I'm always very good. Right. All right. So let me tell you how I felt rereading it, guys. I was disappointed. That's the key word I can come up with to if I had to sum it up in one word, disappointed. Why? Well, the artwork was nice, right? It's kind of what I expected. But story-wise, believe it or not, indeed. Good one too. Good one. Interesting. Although it feels very a Walking Dead-ish, you know, right from the beginning. You know, they'd all be walking, looking for a place to live, and oh, look at this, we suddenly run into this strange new character. You know, is he going to be good or bad? You know, it really had that vibe. But then again, obviously, the whole series kind of does, and I mentioned when I first talked about it, it kind of does have that whole, you know, post-apocalyptic vibe to it anyway, so not too surprising. But She-Hulk, yeah. So disappointed in She-Hulk. Why? Believe it or not, even though, so basically, what I used to love about Sensational She-Hulk by John Byrne back when it first came out is what I didn't like this time. And I was disappointed to find that out. Sadly, I wish I didn't, but I actually disliked the breaking the fourth wall aspect of it. I was just like, I don't know, it was annoying. I felt it was annoying. I just kept thinking, okay, you know what? I don't need you to be doing this. I don't need you to be talking to me, She-Hulk, whatever. And I especially disliked the issue where they're just putting Post-it notes everywhere with notes from like the editor, Bobby Chase, to John Byrne or whatever, or to Tom DeFalco, you know, like, hey, 5 pages in, nothing's happened yet. When's the action going to happen, Byrne? You know? And then you see another Post-it note from Tom DeFalco or whatever. Yeah, what's happening? What's going on? And then, yeah, whatever, all that stuff. Again, I liked it back in the day, but this time I found it annoying. She-Hulk looking. My wonderful daughter just came in to tell me I love those. She read a few She-Hulk issues back a few years ago. But this time, good night. This time, yeah, the fourth wall, yeah, it wasn't doing it for me. Yeah, I just found it annoying. I found that the stories are fine. It's still a fun, easy read, which is what I was looking for. So it's a fun, easy read. It's cute, you know. It gives you a smile every now and then, you know. Makes me grin from time to time. But yeah, I could do like it would be just as good if they didn't do those fourth wall moments. I guess that's what I'm saying, you know. So that's that. But since the stories are still pretty nice, one Rick. Since the stories are still pretty decent, and, you know, simple and fun, I'm still going to continue at least the Byrne stuff, and then we'll see. I'm not so sure what'll happen after that. You know, at the time where we were in comics and TV, it was cool. We just have grown and are used to so much of everything. Yeah, I agree, Tom. I agree. You know, I agree. It was definitely cool in its time, and I think that had a lot to do with it. The fact that at the time, breaking the fourth wall that way over and over, it was new in mainstream superhero comics, you know? And so the newness of it all, I think, is what helped to make it, look, that's so funny, she's talking to us or whatever, or she's talking to John Byrne, or, you know. Yeah, but all these decades later, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, it's old hat now. Yeah, it doesn't seem as funny as it once did, you know? All it was is just another brick in the wall. The jaded She-Hulk reader. Yeah, no, not jaded. Because if I was jaded, Marcus, I wouldn't continue. I would have stopped after the first 2 issues. I'm disappointed that I didn't find the fourth wall stuff enjoyable, you know, or at least neutral. If I found it neutral, that would still be okay. It's that I found it disappointing. I found it annoying, you know. I kept finding myself wishing she would stop doing that, you know. Indeed, Mickey. That's my thing, right? Back then, especially, it was new and fresh, and I think that had something to do with it, right? It stood out because of that. But yeah, it's kind of old hat now, whatever, and yeah. Jade, huh? Explain that. it's the 80s. We loved it when Ferris Bueller did it. Well, yeah, but also don't forget, Marcus. Don't forget, and I haven't seen it in a while. But didn't Ferris only do it that one time? Wasn't it just one scene? Because I'm remembering that one specific scene when he looks and he does it to the camera. I don't think he did it. I don't remember him doing it throughout the movie, right? Yeah. So that's it. So because if he had been doing it throughout the movie, I probably wouldn't have liked it. I think it probably he talks to the camera a lot. Really? He did it all throughout the movie? A lot, though? Maybe it was more subtle, and that's why I just don't remember those parts. Or maybe I just felt like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever, but, move on, But, yeah, I'll have to watch that again sometime soon. Talks about camera. Oh, thank you for reminding me, Tom. That's a great reminder. Yes, now I remember that. Yes, that's true. That's true. So it was more than once because, yes, he kept saying things about his buddy or whatever. Yeah. Okay. But again, I guess because it came out at that same time, right, the 1980s, yeah, it was fresh. It was new. It was like the first time, at least for me, it was probably the first time I'd seen it in a movie. And then in the She-Hulk, it was the first time I'd seen it in a comic book, probably, Refreshing take. Most collectors' nostalgia blind to quality. Oh, you know me, Stanley. I tell you the truth. And when I change my opinion on something, I'm the first person to admit it. Because why lie about it, And I don't think it's about lying. I think it's more about a lot of people with the rose-colored glasses. They don't want to accept and like that they're coming to the realization that something they're rereading is disappointing because they don't want their memories of that first read to be jaded, right? They remember it being so great, so they don't want that memory ruined. And so when they do reread, I do believe there are plenty of people who dislike it, but they can't admit it to themselves. So they still say, oh, yeah, no, it was good, every time. But no, I'll always admit if my opinion changed, And you know what's a funny thing, guys? It's just a quick ironic thing. I was talking to my friend about it, right? I told him about what I felt about She-Hulk, the sensational She-Hulk. And funny enough, how crazy this works, he told me when he read it, okay, mind you, he's a little younger than me. So he was probably more like 14 when it came out, 14, 15. When he read it, he didn't like it. He didn't like it. And then he read the Omnibus several years ago when it came out in Omnibus, and he told me he really liked it on a reread, which is so bizarre, So he completely flipped his view on it, except it's the opposite direction that mine went, So I thought that was really, really interesting. Marcus, a comment. Jade is green indeed. Yes, thank you, Mickey. Thank you. Remember to Jesus land. Yes. Okay, I get it. It was too sophisticated. Yes, exactly. That's like being married as well. Ooh, watch married comments. You're married, Tom. Don't be making marriage comments like that. Jade greater than Pink. Jada Pinkett Smith. Nice. Keep Jada's name out of your mouth. Let me see. Was there anything else that I had read? I bet you there was one. I think I mentioned this to you guys. I think I did mention it to you guys. Yes, I'll mention it again. Here, let me actually check. Give me a second, you guys. I want to see if I can upload. First of all, let me see if I have. I thought I had. Yes, here we go. Check this out. Okay. All right. So, everybody, this is Titans Annual #1 from 2025. This came out, I want to say in the summertime, like June or July. And I just want to I know I talked about it, so I don't want to stay long on it. But I just want to say, especially to those of you who remember loving the Wolfman, George Perez, Teen Titans, okay? If you are like me, it's like if you love the whole run in general, I recommend this. Hunt this down and read it. I highly recommend it. But I especially recommend it if you were like me and back in the day when you read it monthly and you read it for years. And if you were like me, and much like I always describe the X-Men, where like I felt like they became a family, right? They became a family. And then as a reader, I felt like they became part of my family, or I became part of their family, you know. I fell in love with the characters. So I fell in love with pretty much most of them. Donna certainly was one of them. Wonder Girl, right, who later became Troya. So I just want to say, so if you loved that era of Teen Titans, but especially if you ever felt like you really loved the character of Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, you absolutely have to hunt this down. This is my vote is for comic book of the year for 2025. And yes, I admit, obviously, I don't read a ton of comics, but I love this. This was so good. It's probably my favorite single issue, probably in a few years. Yeah, so take that for whatever it's worth. But if you ever loved Donna Troy, you absolutely have to hunt this down, like Titans Hunt, and read this. It's written and drawn by Phil Jimenez, who has a love of the character, and he puts his heart and soul into this. And I'll tell you right now, it's not a Titan story. So the cover is deceptive. The cover is deceptive because the whole story is about Donna Troy. Okay, so you need to know that going in. Don't buy it if you're looking for Teen Titans superhero action. That's not what's going to happen. This is this is a must read for anybody who just loves Donna Troy. Anybody who likes to read heartfelt, emotional stories. And that's it. That's basically what I want to say about that. Terry Long, as far as Terry Long goes, so this is the thing, Marcus. I did not know. And I think you must be joking. I'm sure you're joking, of course, but I'm going to say this because obviously it must have happened years ago. So spoilers are no longer in effect. But I had to read this story because I haven't read any Titans probably since the Mike McCone series. So probably since I stopped reading that series in 2006 or 7. I don't think I read Titans after that. And I got to tell you, I did not know that my favorite, Terry Long, the ugliest character ever in comics, died. Terry died. But while I was shocked and somewhat happy to hear that, I would have been happier if he had just kind of been written out of the series, out of the DC continuity. I don't need him to actually die. But any excitement over him being gone was sadly tempered with the knowledge that she also lost her son. So that's something else I did not know. And even worse, this issue is how I learned that Terry and their son, I don't know how old he was when in the comics when he died. I last saw the baby as, in the Tom Grummett New Titans run when she was, giving birth towards the end of that run. So I only knew the kid as a little baby, a newborn baby. And I didn't know that they both died and that they died in a car accident. So on top of them being gone, and again, I don't care about Terry, but I care about the baby. it was sad to hear that she lost the baby, but in such a horrible way, right? In a tragic car accident. But it made me very curious. And Marcus, I was waiting to talk about this because I wanted to see if you knew what issue that happens in. I'd like to read the issue where they die in a car accident. So if you or anybody else knows, let me know. But yeah, highest recommendation. Best single issue of 2025 for me. And also best single comic book I've read in years. Yeah. Emotional and heartfelt. Yeah. Love it. I love comics that make you feel something, right? Stories that make you feel something, especially if it's for characters that you already feel for because you love that character. Yeah. So hey Nikki. So DC was all in, Rick, and on that issue, I was all in too, for sure. Thank you for rallying. Yeah, everybody, please. I don't know how many people are still watching. Can somebody tell me on your end what it looks like? How many people watching? How many people liking? Can you give me the 2 number with the slash? I would appreciate that. What else we got? Okay, Nikki with the 50. Okay, but tell me how many people watching. Jerry Bourne. Missed the chat about the Power Girl statue, but it is a ZBrush digital sculpt. Thank you, Jerry. See, I love you guys. Oh, my viewers are the best, man. You guys always come in and drop the knowledge when we ask for it and we don't know. When we don't have the answers, somebody usually comes in and answers it. I love it. So thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. Now, I don't know anything about statues. I never collected them. So I don't know what ZBrush is. I wonder if you're talking about a brand name of a company that makes these kinds of sculpts. But the fact that you say it is a digital sculpt, which was kind of what I was guessing. So Jerry, does that mean, can you tell us, does that mean it's basically drawn like on a computer and then it's like a 3D printer thing? Like it's a computer that basically carves it all out? Is that what that is? What rocks? What rocks, Nikki? What rocks? The fact that you got 50 likes. That is pretty good. Says Wonder. Oh, thanks for checking it out, Marcus. Thank you. Wow, that's Wonder Woman 121. Wow, going back to the 90s. Terry and the baby died back in the 90s. So that's only a few years after she gave birth to the kid in the Tom Grummett New Titans run. Wow, I'm okay. I'm gonna have to check that out after. Okay, Titans talk indeed. So 50 viewers. Well, that doesn't make any sense. 50 viewers, 27 viewers, and 50 likes. Okay. Thank you, CJ. Okay, thank you, Nick, for confirming. It will then be 3D printed and then molds made from the print. And okay, right. So that's what I was saying, Jerry, because I was guessing at how it was done, and I thought that I was saying that my guess was because of the fact that the facial likeness was so accurate, I said it had to be done by computer, not just somebody with clay and carving by hand with tools, the old school way. Yeah, so that's nice. Have a good one, Nikki. Thank you. Appreciate it, Tom. Thank you. So she can't play with He-Man action figures. A program. Oh, it's a program like Adobe Illustrator, but 3-dimensional. Got you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yes, sir. I will not start collecting statues. No, thank you. No room for that anyways. So anyways, yeah, so that's the other thing I read, guys. And it was, I didn't read much else this week, so I'm pretty sure that's it. I do have to get to some recent issues of a Superman comic, the latest Superman comic. I think the one that Dan Mora draws on Derek's suggestion. He says he thinks I would like it because they do some good stuff with Superboy Prime in there. So I'm going to check that out. And so that's it. Basically, that's it, guys. Like I said, I didn't see much on TV or movies in the last few weeks. So I guess we'll call it an evening here, everybody. It's perfect timing, anyways, because it is 3 hours 45 minutes, and without another guest with me, having to continuously talk is exhausting, as you guys know. So yeah, we'll leave it there. As always, thank you again, everyone, for coming in, hanging out with us. I appreciate it, especially given how much time we took with Carl to promote his Evermind comic. But in all seriousness, in all sincerity, I know that it's not as easy as getting it from a comic shop, to have to do Kickstarter. But if you want to read it, I'm sure like any other Kickstarter, they must have digital copies. I didn't get to ask Carl that. But if you want to get it the cheaper way, which is, I guess it's usually cheaper digitally, I definitely recommend it, especially to you guys. I really hope that some of you guys do check it out, because as most of you guys are science fiction fans, I want to know, now that I've read a science fiction comic book and liked it, I'd really like to know what science fiction fans think of it, So that would be cool. So yeah, if you do, please do that. And like I said, and like Carl said, even if you don't want to contribute and order the comics from the Kickstarter, it would be great to help them out. Just do the follow this Kickstarter thing. Click that button. It helps out with the algorithm and all that stuff. So that'd be great. Yes, indeed, Tom. Indeed, it is. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. Have a good one. The schedule for the next month is, I have no schedule, nothing planned out. So it's probably Hangout next week, Hangout the week after, Hangout the week after that, and Hangout one more week after that. No, I don't know. I mean, it may be next week because it's already 1 week away and I've got nothing planned. I hope I can come up with something else that it's not just Hangout. But we'll see, Stanley. We'll see. Ruben should rewatch Blade Runner. I'm not kind of in the mood right now. I'd like to go and read something, but I have to stay up late and start breaking this up into chapters, unfortunately. But no, I got other things to watch. I'm watching actually America's Team, or America's something. An 8-part Netflix documentary on the Dallas Cowboys. Very entertaining so far. You don't have to be a Dallas fan. It talks about how Jerry Jones. That's how it starts. It's from how the Cowboys were losing, and Jerry Jones suddenly bought the franchise. Fired the longtime, legendary coach. Yeah, and then from there and into the 90s, and how good they were in the 90s, and very fascinating behind the scenes stuff. So good to check it out. So, anyways, watch the Americans TV show. That's too many shows. I don't have time for another long TV show. Watch your football so we can talk about it. Well, I did, like I said, I did watch. Yes, Tom Landry. Exactly. Legend. Well, I watched the football. I watched the Lions. I watched. So you could have said something about the Lions game. I already knew that. Steelers kicked whose ass? Do you mean like back in the Landry days? Because it seems like they used to trade off wins back in the 70s. It's like the entire decade practically was either Cowboys or Steelers Super Bowl victories. Let me see. Watch Stranger Things now. No, I watched it. I watched the first 2 seasons. Only because a friend of mine told me that I would like it because he knows I love things that reminisce about the 80s, childhood in the 80s. And as a child of the 80s, of course, I love to watch stuff like that. And so I love that aspect of it. But he never told me it was science fiction. And as soon as they suddenly got into that whole upside down thing, I was out. I kept watching, but yeah, my interest kind of went away. And yeah, I saw 2 seasons, like I said, and that was it. I lost interest. So Steelers beat the Cowboys in Super Bowl 10 and 13. There we go. Okay, yes. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't 2 years, it was 3 years apart. Right on. But yeah, that's right. The Cowboys, yeah, they had their heyday in the 70s and 90s. Steelers had it also in the 70s and then in the 2000s. Yeah, 2000s. But anyways, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm exhausted. So thanks once again for hanging out with me. As always, really appreciate it. Have a great week, all of you. Stay safe out there. And yeah, don't forget to check out Nikki B on Friday, see what Artie's got for sale. And then, yeah, man, I'll see you guys back here next Sunday at the usual 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And until then, as always, go blue, baby, go blue.